How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Reflect 2019. My name is Ketchup, joined on the desk by Mustard, and it's going to be some UK Mortal Kombat. Kicking things off today on, stream number 3. There's 3 streams going on, and one of them just so happens to be our Twitch, so I'm sure a bunch of you guys watching are already familiar with what to expect. You've watched the Hyper Combos, you've watched some of the other UK events, and Reflect is going to be a lot of the same, but for this event, we have some much heavier hitters than before.
Yes, we have players such as, obviously, we've got Omega K, Derpy, Afoxygrampa is going to be here, but then we also have the likes of Xarakamaka, who's a UK player that those of you from the MK9/MKX days will definitely remember. This is his first tournament, I believe, for the game. But as well as we have a couple of Europeans as well. Happy Pow and Ganondorf have both made the trip over, because, of course, what we cannot forget, we have a £1,000 prize pot to give away this weekend to the top places. I don't exactly remember how the prize distribution will work itself, but obviously it's going to be pretty heavy for the top players.
If you're unfamiliar with events, the winner gets most of it. That's all you need to know. You know, it's a £1,000 pot bonus, and if you win, you're in a nice little chunk of change for that.
And if you are a competitor, of course, this isn't a terrible time to start winning prize money, as we have begun the pro competition officially. You know, CEO is in just over 2 weeks' time by now. Shortly after that, Vianality, obviously Versus fighting in the UK for Intercontinental. Like, if you're a Mortal Kombat player, getting any form of prize money like that is crucial now, because if you want to spend it on what is effectively the year of competition, that might get you to another event. That obviously, also the Celtic Throwdown, right? Especially if you're a European, there are hella options to get some points now.
I mean, of course, we have to shout CEX for being, you know, the provider of this entire event and powering the entire experience.
Wait, do the thing.
It's right there. I always get it mixed
up.
All
over the place.
I always get it mixed up, but it's CEX right there. Powering the entire tournament, so thank you very much, guys. UK retailer, for those that don't know. We have audiences from everywhere on this Twitch, so worth mentioning that too. So we're currently waiting for our first match. Everyone is here. So, you know, we kind of mentioned some of the players that are here. Usual suspects, you know, Derpy, Omega K, they're in attendance. A bunch of the UK heads. Some old school players that we haven't seen play yet, like Hollow, Xarakamaka. You know, Hollow from London, Xarakamaka, who hasn't really played offline. That even to this day, not very versed in the world of offline, to be honest. You know, we saw Xarakamaka be a complete online beast in ESL Season 2 for the Pro League, and he was like the star player for Europe for a while because he was everyone's favorite. He had like what was pretty much the original swaggin' Liu Kang, you know, before the Ninja Killers and before Silver Eye, really, around that time. Xarakamaka was kind of like the first MKX Liu Kang.
He was the first to really show what the character could do on that kind of, like, I suppose, highest level. He wasn't the first Liu Kang, but he was the first Liu Kang that we saw really kind of hammering in the Dragon's Fire, right? You're getting the huge damage combos and the crazy cancel and stuff. And that was all in pre-patch netcode too. So in hindsight, I don't know. I actually have no idea how he managed to do it, but he did. And he established quite the name for himself. But he's playing MK11 and he's playing Cabal now. Actually, he's not playing Liu Kang right now. He's actually gone to Cabal, which he did play in MK9. He played quite a lot of characters in that game, and Cabal was one of them, as most people really had by the end of that game's life. But obviously, Cabal's not a bad pick for anyone that has a solid base of fundamentals. You know, Cabal really is one of those characters that has risen to the top in terms of how well he plays the game. He's not a top tier character, but he's incredibly high tier, right? Like he is up there with the best of the pack. But not quite on the same level as, like, you know, the Geras, the Sonya that we've seen before, but he's very much a formidable character in the
Cabal
game.
to me is an honest character. He's honest, but he's fundamentally really strong.
I would say he's probably the most well-balanced character in the game, in my opinion. With the exception
I can't believe I've said that.
I know. I just said that about Cabal.
I never thought I'd see the damn day where Cabal was a balanced character.
But even then, like, the only exception is one of his biggest strengths is obviously no gaps in any of his strings, right? Everything he does is safe with no gap. That's, in my opinion, a little bit wonky in terms of that he never has to worry about that. But aside from that, everything else is pretty much well balanced, right? His strings are all safe, but his specials aren't. His projectile's not really, not amazing, but it's not the worst either. Has a crushing blow attached to it too, which is really nice, which you don't see too often. But if it does hit, you get a full screen high damage combo from it. Just a really cool character. But of course, Xarakamaka is just one of the players we have here this weekend. Of course, Afoxygrampa is going to be returning. You're not going to see the likes of Dizzy or the Orp or any of the other young guns that have been coming through this. As of course, this is a strictly an 18+ tournament. due to the price pot itself, and obviously CEX being the main partner. It did have to be 18+ for the weekend, but it is what it is, you know. The rules are the rules.
I mean, that to me puts into perspective just how many, I suppose, like young blood players are starting to sort of like play and compete and stuff like that. Good to see, but we have our first match on stream kind of getting ready. I can already recognize Derpy is sitting down, and Derpy, you've seen him once or twice before. You know, Derpy was a player that really sort of his first proper Mortal Kombat, competitively anyway, was Mortal Kombat X. And he was
just to interrupt, I got some hot info for you guys. This other player is called I Killed the Deku Tree, and he's just won his first game off stream.
I
Wonderful.
see.
He is rolling into Derpy right now.
All right, so Deku Tree, that would mean then that Derpy got a bye. He was one of our seeded players, I believe, for good reason. Derpy is solid as a rock European player.
It's like you were saying before, right? Like Derpy started off in MKX and then ended up, you know, really hammering in on Injustice 2, and now MK11 is like hit the ground running, right? He went straight to Kung Lao, who was the character he settled on in X. And honestly, Kung Lao seems to be a really strong choice for him. But the thing I like about Derpy the most is his general outlook on the game itself. You know, Derpy, he's very intelligent with how he breaks the game down. He's very meticulous with how he picks his character and what he does. But he does it very well, right? He has a very fresh perspective on the game. He really understands what works and what doesn't. But at the same time, you know, he's not going to be afraid to break the rules every now and then. He's just one of those players that is known for really clean play. Almost like, you know, he had this reputation of being almost like Foxy 2 by the end of MKX, right? And he always jokes about that, but I feel like MK11 is his opportunity to really kind of break out from those kind of reputations and really bring it to himself as just a solid player overall. Because we know he can do it. Obviously, we saw him compete in Hyper Combo Unchained, and he managed to get, you know, place really well. I believe he got 4th in that tournament, right?
Yeah, because it was Hero's 3rd place and then Omega 2nd, Ixie 1st. He has swapped over to Aaron Black, though, and that's one of the changes he's made is Aaron Black. Now, this is a matchup I find kind of interesting. We know that Katana, her fan game won't really work against Aaron. He will just delete all those projectiles. But one thing you guys will notice now, this recent update has given us a visual indicator of how much ammo Aaron Black has in his rifle. Really important if you're an Aaron Black player now. Don't have to mentally keep count anymore.
Also, I think we have to lower the health bars after this game, or after the set, just to make
sure. Classic, man, the tournament classic.
Hey, man, it's not a tournament if the health bars aren't lowered, at least at the start. But of course, Derpy, you know, going for that Aaron Black, he did play Aaron before as well, and he actually has been playing a lot of Barking Irons. But of course, 52-car pickup is just the better variation, right? There's no real two ways about it. We can see, of course, that Deku Tree, even though we can't see the health bars, we know he's low because he's got the Fatal Blow. But bringing in Katana, you know, Katana's another one of those characters that a lot of Katana players in the past aren't really picking her right now. You know, she doesn't really fit the same archetype she used to, and that seems to put a lot of kind of loyalist Katana players off. But there are this kind of new wave of, you know, I can't speak for Deku's, like, you know, history with the character, but there's this new wave of Katana players that are playing her for what she does now that she didn't before. Nice to confirm. That's going to happen, though, early on, where players will pick a character and then try and play them the way they used to. And in the new game, it turns out that's just not really how it's meant to be done anymore. By the way, guys, executive decision. Streamlord Will was removed the overlay for this game alone, just because of the... obviously, we haven't lowered the health bars. It's probably better you guys see the whole action rather than the names. But there's been a good game so far for Derpy, and clean 1-0. We're either going to let them play it out, or we're going to ask them to lower the health bars. I think, actually... No, I think Will's actually going out to have a chat, and he even does a fatality, so good guy Derpy buys us some time here. Good stuff, but, I mean, that was, to be honest with you, exactly the kind of matchup I expected to see. Derpy is one of the favorites to do well in this tournament, and this is a matchup I think Aaron Black does really well in. Yeah, I feel like Aaron is just a tried-and-true character at this point, right? I feel like early on he was in the spotlight for kind of the supposed mix-ups off of, like, his back two or 2-1-2-1-2 going into the slide. Like, as always, it's the high-low mix-up that really makes people nervous. But as it stands, it's not that makes Aaron Black good, right? It's that neutral control, it's the strong mids, it's the utility, the acid.
He's pulled a gun out, point blank. Oh, man, it's crazy. Does not care at all, but I'm pretty sure what Will just told the guys to do was change it after the game was over. And I agree with that. Let's not throw the guys off their flow. They're already playing. For those that are just joining us for whatever reason, Derpy is the one playing as Aaron Black, and it's I Killed the Deku Tree playing as Katana. I Killed the Deku Tree just won his first game. Derpy had a bye, so he was waiting in round number 2, which is where he currently is. Gets the punish, guaranteed.
Well, obviously, the set's currently 1-0 to Derpy, and this is first to 2, best of 3 up until finals, so it's going to be classic pro competition rule set.
I like that. Now, I mean, loads of TOs were doing 3 out of 5 for a fair while, and then Now pro competition
Ooh,
has started.
clean
We
out,
have to
yeah.
mirror that standard, man. It makes a lot more sense. Disrespecting on wake up and he's going to get tagged. 7 bullets left to go, but at this rate, Derpy doesn't need to spend a single one. I think the launch will suffice here. Match point, just like that. Oh,
no way to punish the attempts.
It's double high, isn't it? I forgot.
Oh, he's going to get opened up.
Ugh. Smack it up.
Okay, actually opts not to go for the slide. I think he just wants to keep it meterless, but also get the full screen presence. We can see Aaron Black clearly does have some strength in the full screen department.
That's why the dash in down one, I think, made sense to give a bit more extra damage to the fact that you're not going to end in the slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Squeeze it out, get as much damage as you can.
Oh, okay, an opportunity. Lift. Deku manages to get a full confirm. Waits for the breakaway. I like the pause too. And there's a delay grab. Good stuff.
But this is what Katana has to do. Her offense is very, very simple but effective. But you kind of have to live and die by it. There it is, and that should be around now. Clips him, no breakaway, and Deku. Nice patience, I like it.
That was a super clean round from Deku. You know, he kind of just got Derpy in the corner. Derpy is quite a respectful player on defense, so, you know, when he blocks a late jump kick, chances are he's not going to press, and Deku is able to kind of really go for the throw game as well to get a lot of damage on the board. But now it's swapped around, and the blocks. Oh, the trip guard, yep, catches him on landing.
No breakaway either.
Oh, he drops the combo, but turns into a reset. We'll take those.
That was all part of the master plan, mate. And
oh, how about that? Was like getting slammed into an acid-ridden cactus going to be the same thing.
Congratulations, you got caught.
Ooh, again, another attempt at that, yeah, but that jump kick, so much priority.
Doesn't overcommit to the mid, though. Good choice. Otherwise, that would have been whiff punish central into probably death, honestly. But there's the grab. Okay. Deku playing much better now.
There's a chance to bring it back. Unfortunately, he's now put Derpy into Fatal Blow territory. Wake up attack.
Oh,
no! Immediate Fatal Blow. That's the Aaron Black classic right there. Standing on acid. Because even the good thing about that situation is if an Aaron Black player has Fatal Blow and catches you standing in the acid, if you block it, you're taking all the chip damage from Fatal Blow, which is like 6-7%, however many it is, and you're sitting in acid. If you neutral crouch the Fatal Blow, you're sitting in acid the whole time you're crouching it. And I don't think at that range, Katana could have punished him. So, I mean, I understand why Derpy would do it there.
I mean, he bet everything on the mix-up right at the end there. You know, Derpy went in for, I think, what was that, standing 2 or something like that into... I don't actually play Aaron Black, so I can't remember.
It's the back 2 string. With
yeah,
he just waxed the absolute
He immediately...
I was about to say a much worse word, but I can't. Stum.
Zip it. Zip it. But anyway, yeah, we won't get into this. We'll be here forever.
Yeah, well, that's too long. That's too long.
We'll be here forever. But that's throwing me off my train of thought. Oh, yeah.
You're talking about
the mix-up. The thing is, that was actually a brave mix-up, because if Deku blocked that low, he would have got a grounded Fatal Blow, which definitely would have won the game.
But if you are going to enforce an unsafe mix-up...
Live and die by it, innit?
Yeah, when your opponent has, like... when you haven't done one the whole set, and then your opponent's on, like, 20%, probably not the worst time to go for something like that, because, I mean, your opponent has to be on their toes.
Well, we've just kicked off the stream, and we know how things go on our Twitch. You know, this is going to be a little bit different from our scheduled programming. Welcome, for those that have just tuned in. This is Reflect 2019. It's the first year, actually, for Reflect. This is
a newcomer into the UK tournament scene.
Reflect is a new addition to the UK community. You know, for a long time there... We were kind of in a bit of a standstill, weren't we, where there really was kind of versus fighting, and that's it when it comes to like larger scale UK events, and Reflect has kind of taken that mantle to say, hey, let's do something as well. So shout out to the crew that's put it together. Thank you very much to CEX for powering the entire thing. It's about time the UK got another major event, and I have no doubt, you know, this is the growth year. You know, this is always the first year where we have to make sure that you just sort of keep the ball rolling. I have no doubt things will be bigger next year, and you know the communities can come out. And I'm excited to see it. But for first year, I think I'm happy with the turnout so far. The UK guys have really come out in full force. Someone behind us is getting really excited already in these early stage games. But this is going to be another demonstration of what UK Mortal Kombat actually has to offer. We have some real heavy hitters. We have Afoxygrampa, we have Xarakamaka, we have Happy Pal, we have Derpy, as you've just seen. And I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of it.
Well, and that's just a handful of players, right? As of course, the game is now going into its, you know, we're now kind of passing the 2-month mark, and the game is beginning to really develop, and we're beginning to see players that, you know, returning players are still kind of staying at the top, and we are getting a few new faces to the tournament scene. We have players like, for example, Scare Tactics, who is a player that played a lot of Injustice, you know, has been coming to a lot of the locals around the UK, Hyper Combo, London, wherever he can get to. And has now, entered a few of the Road to Celtic Throwdown events and is doing well for himself there and is kind of a new face on the tournament scene. But even in the couple of months the game has been out, has improved considerably, from launch to now. And there are a few players that kind of fall into that category. And that's always a really interesting thing to see when a game is out and it's a new iteration. Because the thing about Mortal Kombat is it's never a legacy game, right? Mortal Kombat has legacy characters in terms of like story and lore and all that stuff, but in terms of how it plays, it's always new. So there's always an opportunity for players to come out and learn the game and kind of establish themselves in an already existing scene, but the game is new, so everyone's learning it at the same time. And then when you are in the kind of the first couple of months, like we are literally right now, these tournaments, like this exact one this weekend, Reflect, are a perfect opportunity to see how those players are kind of faring and shaping up. It does help that there's a £1,000 prize pot supplied, courtesy of CEX. So there's obviously a lot more to play for than you'll normally see in the UK. But I'm really excited to see how the weekend goes, right? The return of Xarakamaka, Foxy's going to be here. Obviously, Derpy we've already seen play.
Speaking of which,
Mega K as well. I think it's Derpy coming back up again.
I think so.
I
think he sat back down at the stream station, so we're going to see Derpy for a second time. I hadn't mentioned Omega K.
His opponent is none other than Xarakamaka.
Okay, so here we are.
Okay.
So we're now going to see the first offline gameplay of Xarakamaka. Now, we talked about him at the very beginning. I'm going to give you guys a quick refresh. Xarakamaka is actually a lot more old school than you might think. He became a lot more prominent at the end of Mortal Kombat 9. He had a really good smoke back in the day. Really, really good smoke, actually. His always known for his execution was the big thing. He had really good execution.
But he kind of played the board, really. That's another thing he was known for.
He did, yes.
A lot of characters.
He did. And Scarlet was another one of his characters back then. And then didn't really play Injustice 1, but when Mortal Kombat X came out, became one of the premier Liu Kang players. And was really the first player that really demonstrated the crazy execution that Dragon's Fire Liu Kang has. He made Season 2 finals for the ESL Pro League. And online, even though he's really old school, online has been Xarakamaka's element for a very long time. But in MK11, looking to sort of continue that trend where Reflect is his first offline event. But, I'm sure we'll be seeing him at Versus Fighting and probably Celtic Throwdown and stuff. But he hasn't really had much avenues yet. But in this game, he plays Cabal.
But what I like about Xarakamaka is it's like you said, right? He's not known for a lot of offline play. Like, he does attend, like, 1 or 2 tournaments pretty much during an MK's life. Because that's another thing about Xarakamaka. He's not... Whereas most of the guys are Netherrealm players, he is a Mortal Kombat player, right? He didn't have any interest in Injustice 1 or Injustice 2. He's been playing Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat alone this entire time. But normally known for, going to events kind of later in the game's life in kind of the first year, whereas now the game's pretty much 2 months old, and here he is already at his first event. Which already is a sign of a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Safer to assume for me that he just probably didn't have the chance to play before then. I know, the game is... You know what the crazy thing to me is just... It feels like the game's been out for ages, and it's only been like 2 months.
It's because it's been a really concentrated 2 months, right? We've had so many tournaments. There's been things like the Summit. Combo Breaker's already begun. The pro competition has already started, through things like Combo Breaker.
CEO coming up soon.
Yeah, there's been events all over the world, right? Whenever you're on Twitch, there always seems to be a tournament somewhere in the world at some point. I feel like that really helps to kind of show what the game has to offer right now. The world is playing it, the world is enjoying it, and Europe is right up there, in terms of results so far. And
I'm trying to figure out what actually just happened there.
I think they're trying to check for lowered health bars,
or the patch.
maybe. I assume so. Should be.
I don't know. Oh, the PS4 is frozen up. That's right. The console is frozen.
Yeah,
up.
the console has.
That happened
frozen.
to you when you were against
Shrek, the Xbox.
Yeah.
His name is Shrek for Xbox. He's the Kano player.
Kano
right?
mirror.
The Kano mirror. Yeah, that happened to me.
That's sick.
Man, tournament things, isn't it?
Combo Breaker was so good.
I love tournaments.
We can sit here and just reminisce on how many good tournaments we have. If you guys are watching and you ever consider going to an offline fighting game event, do it, please. For God's sake. Like, it really will change your entire outlook on competitive fighting games. These events are great, and you meet sometimes like your best friends at these kind of events. How many fighting game guys went to your wedding last year?
Exactly. Like,
it was great.
Well, I feel like that kind of lends itself to the world of fighting games, right? Like, if you meet people through competitive, because a lot of people do. You get into competition because you want to compete, right? You want to enter tournaments, you want to win tournaments, you want to prove that you're the best. But because it's already quite a niche part of the market, it's already quite a niche hobby to begin with. It's becoming less so, as obviously esports are becoming more kind of widely accepted. But it's already so niche to begin with that if you meet people through that hobby, they're obviously quite dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So you're already sharing mutual interests because there's always something to talk about. It's why so many people have, they'll consider tournaments as like a social thing a lot of the time, right? It's not always just about the competition for a lot of players.
It's a chance to catch up with your mates.
Yeah, go hang out, watch the games. Like, of course, we're obviously in a room, the 18+ room here for Mortal Kombat. But just, outside, we've got, obviously, you've got Street Fighters going on, Tekken, Smash. Like, it's the classic, right? There's always a lot to watch. But speaking of stuff to look forward to as well, Shang Tsung is going to be available on Tuesday for Combat Pass owners.
I am
a few
so
days.
excited.
I'm going to play so much Shang Tsung next week. I'm in a bit of a rut as well, right?
I heard word on the street is that Shang Tsung's got an overhead and low starter.
I've heard, but I've not seen. Obviously, he was playable at E3, and we weren't there. Unfortunately,
I'm trying so hard to get one of those.
Wait,
I'm trying really hard to get one of those Shang Tsung coins.
Yeah.
They
look really sick.
I really want one.
But so I'm in a bit of a rut, and I'm sure a lot of you watching at home will be in the same situation.
Are you thinking of
no? So Shang Tsung and Combat League come out on the same day. I'm not using a day one Shang Tsung in Combat League, but I want to do both. What is the play here? So if any of
that's
you,
that's actually a really good
if
question.
any of you at home are in the same situation that you want to do Combat League, because in-game notifications, shouts to NetherRealm for putting those up, the notifications.
Oh yeah,
told us what Combat League is. It's like a 9. There are like 9 ranks that you ladder up through the ranks, and it's like the game's new ranked mode, really, right? So you level up and you get rewards for placing. All this in-game, right? Just a notification came up and told me what it was. And also Shang Tsung on the same day. What is a man to do in such situations?
Also, what if on that day comes with it a balance patch, which changes things?
I mean, that's a if, though. That one is not certain.
But if there's a balance patch as well, if there is one, I'm like, I don't think I'd do Combat League.
I'll play Shang Tsung, dude.
I would lab the Shang Tsung.
Shang
Tsung. The T is silent. I remember.
Shouts to John Vogel.
Shouts to John. Ooh, I wonder if anyone. Oh, the DEF CON is overused.
Where?
Everywhere.
What's wrong What's wrong with this?
Have you ever
There's
going
to be like 2 people in chat that will get that reference.
There's probably like, I wonder if there's ever a chance that like NetherRealm watch these streams and they're like, I think the twins have quite literally watched everything we've ever made.
I mean, there's a good chance that's the case.
Everyone says here there's a communication problem. They say there's a problem with your work. What gives?
Dude, I don't even know you anymore.
Good. Hoagie's good.
So there is a slight delay, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with us. We are waiting for this next match, which is going to be quite a heavy hitter in the UK, as Xarakamaka is going to be taking on Derpy. My favorite story about Xarakamaka was how no one knew how to say his name back in the Pro League days. We were the only ones that knew. Like, all the production stuff, and like the Americans were like, how do I say this? And then they'd hear us say it, like, Xarakamaka. No problems whatsoever. And everyone else is like, how do I say that, though?
I heard
Xarakamaka.
I remember hearing some really bad pronunciations, but I can't remember what they were. I just remember that they were terrible. But I think we're good.
Right, just a quick update, guys. Obviously, PS4 crashed just then. They're going to do a quick button check and make sure it's on the latest version by checking the Aaron Black bullet count. And if all okay, we're just going to restart the game and go straight into it.
Okay.
Wonderful. Shouts to easy ways to checking if the patch is on. Like just looking at Aaron Black's
It used to be
counter.
The test in the UK used to just be if Shao Kahn lands his shoulder charge and if you can connect a jump 2 off it. That's what it used to be. Man,
I mean, whatever works, right? Whatever works.
Everyone liked my Shao Kahn video, you know? The one I did on his reversal grab.
Cool video,
oh, man. I'm so glad I could show off, like... Because loads of people don't know that you can do flawless block reversal throw as well. Like, you can do it out of flawless block, which for characters like him is such a huge deal.
Yeah,
I doubt we're going to see...
I watched the video, Ryan.
I doubt we're going to see anyone... I doubt we're going to see anyone play Shao Kahn today. But
so speaking of what we will see,
hope.
though, what we will see is obviously Derpy is bringing in... Derpy, I think, could bring a multitude of characters here. Xarakamaka, I think, is pretty much Cabal or bust. Admittedly, I actually haven't watched Xarakamaka play before today. I've only heard murmurings of like him in the online world, as of course, he's a very prominent online player.
Doesn't really play ranked though. But there's always been Xarakamaka's way. That Xarakamaka was never really a player that would play ranked. He was always a player match kind of running long sets.
Yeah, for sure. It's much more his style.
But in a best of 3, that style might be hindered a little bit. That's the thing, right?
But Derpy, I know, has actually had some experience against some other Cabal players around, and I do believe Aaron Black is his character of choice for that. So not too surprising to see him go for it here. Because he already now this kind of situation. Oh, okay. Derpy establishing the overhead low immediately. I wonder if that's just like data.
With Xarakamaka getting clipped by that string, I think that's actually information that says he's not afraid to dedicate super fast. Now,
Well, thing
this
is-
this is the dash cancel variation, so that forward 2-2 in theory should never hit you, because, and there's the immediate counter hit. Drops the combo, and this is what we worry about a little bit, right? There's Xarakamaka, online and offline, they are different to each other, even though the netcode is fantastic.
Well, he was able to get a hit immediately, but oh, that's a punish. No crushing blow spent. Derpy's going to hold on to it.
Keeps him forward. Watch out for the fatal blow. Xarakamaka can pull the trigger on that now, actually. Projectiles are a risk. Rifle mode is a huge risk. Speaking of risk, Xarakamaka thinks that's the call to make. Using the crushing blow just to end the round as well. That was a bit of a back and forth round, but Derpy just looked very comfortable.
It was also unbreakable completely, right? Like, if Derpy went for the rifle stance launch, Xarakamaka would have the chance to go for the dash out. But of course, Xarakamaka, you said before, he's playing mean streak. He's playing the cancel variation. Oh, okay. I think that's a very Xarakamaka variation to play, honestly. Obviously, he's known for cancels historically. He really, went towards them in MKX, did a lot of Cabal and MK9. So definitely lends itself to the way he likes to play the game. Okay.
Kind of looked like he might have been able to confirm off that, taking the grabs. Sometimes you'd think taking the grab in that situation, like Cabal has so many amazing mids that ducking after a cancel was a massive risk to take.
It's just one of those like big mind games, right? Nice confirm.
That looked like a single hit confirm to me.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's because you obviously on block, you're looking to cancel that on a hit, you won't. Another throw coming through. Xarakamaka getting a lot of mileage out of these throws. Oh.
You can actually, you can definitely punish that low as well.
I know that Xarakamaka was ready to try and defend against it too,
I
though.
think so. The little walk back.
Ooh. Okay. And there's a jump kick. Obviously, like, the dash cancel game is one of those things that it's quite hard to execute in comparison to a lot of other stuff in this game, but it's a big mind game, right? The throw is not guaranteed by any means. But if Derpy's expecting like a cancel into a poke or something, then obviously Cabal is going to get a lot of mileage off the throws if they are not read correctly. But Derpy, not even attempting, he's not even getting like the incorrect text. I think right now he's just making the read to just either take the throw or it's just not working out in a certain situation. Oh, wake up, doesn't quit to the full string. And there's the double low. Too far away to punish. I like that, but there's the whip punish. Launch, no breakaway active, so here's the mix-up. Delayed wake up. Out of it, delays into the string, but the defense from Xarakamaka doesn't want to pull the trigger just yet. Here's the mix-up. Oh, that down one. Caught the walk back from Derpy.
Reverse grab too, so it's going to give Xarakamaka corner pressure if he wants 2 bars. And there it is. He can actually spend this to kill now, or at least come very close to it. Oh, wow! Last lifeline for Derpy. Now he's got to make something happen. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, delayed wake up into down 1. I respect the attempt, but Xarakamaka being really patient. Like, ultimately, with those 2 bars of offense and a fatal blow, Aaron Black could have made something happen there. But with no defensive bar, Xarakamaka knew that, look, when you've got no defensive bar, delayed wake up is like the prime choice to make.
Well, it's just something that you still have access to, right? You lose wake-up options without defensive bar, but that's something that you can still do. But obviously, Xarakamaka ready and waiting for it. He had the life lead, going to sit on it. The big thing that's hurting him there, though, I think, for Derpy is just these throws. Obviously, like, trying to tech a throw in this game, it can be quite dangerous, especially against a character like Cabal. But right now, it seems like Derpy's not actually attempting them at all. I think he's just content to try and take them. But very quickly, those throws will add up. But it was a close game. It wasn't exactly it was a blowout, so could see us go down to a game 3 if Derpy can bring it back. But again, we're seeing him establish the low slide. That's 2 for 2 now as Xarakamaka's been hit by. Well, obviously, it is unsafe. So have to be careful. There's the anti-air. Oh, okay. I respect the attempt from Xarakamaka. Of course, if Derpy went into like rifle stance or pretty much anything but standing there, he would have eaten that. But unfortunately, was blocked, and Derpy's going to get a full punish. Into a nice life lead, honestly, already. This is looking quite stable. Oh, no anti-air attempt.
Yeah, a little bit hesitant. Commits into the forward 4 string. Very rarely do you see a Cabal player do that. And there's the amplify. Gets the full combo off the straight saw. Straight saw move, yeah, definitely don't see that often, but is underratedly good. Here comes the cancels into grabs. Cancel into grab is so strong because if you think he's going to grab you, I mean, risky, right? You got to be ready for the reactions. Oh no, can't quite get the whiff punish. And there's the reverse grab again. Xarakamaka took a little bit of damage off the Yesey, but nowhere near enough to care. And is he going to try and go in for the fatal blow? I'm not sure.
Oh, point blank.
Oh my god! Doesn't cancel it. Too much respect.
There it is. We'll watch out. These are 2 characters with fatal blow that just slows the game down. Late reaction on the jump. Derpy went for the anti-air, but did it way too late. Xarakamaka manages to not only land in time, but punish it on block with his own fatal blow. Derpy with the unfortunate misplay. He had the round, but slipped away.
I also think as well, you get the damage that was done by that, even though the damage was kind of small. I'm a firm believer that if... Oh, whiff punish. I'm a firm believer that if the fatal blow is the primary reason you will win the round, it's always worth it. Ignore the damage sometimes, right? If the utility of it alone guarantees it, it's always going to be worthwhile. And here comes Derpy now pressuring. Oh, punish.
Big punish, yep. That's going to be the rifle again.
saves the crushing blow.
No slide either, though. He doesn't want to go into the corner against Xarakamaka. You don't want to work that hard to get Cabal away from the distance just to give him a full screen away. Oh, wow, big read from Xarakamaka there.
It is putting Xarakamaka back into the fight. Those two grabs, and there's the forward 4. You know, Xarakamaka has those single hit confirms, drops the combo, but no punish. I think he was a bit faster. Maybe he could have jab punished that, but not today. There's the knockdown. Xarakamaka's still in this, but no fatal blow. And there's the low again, and he should be dead. There's really nowhere Xarakamaka can go now.
Okay, this is really tough. Oh, there's one jump. Yeah, that's it. That's one of those nigh unwinnable situations, right? You don't have fatal blow anymore, acid on the floor. Obviously, all of his movement, especially if you're a nomad dash, he's still going to get hit by one tick of it. So Derpy's playing well. Oh, okay. Misses or input from Xarakamaka. There is the down 4. Going to take the advantage.
Remember, guys, this is a match point for Xarakamaka. Derpy, if he wins this round, he's going to tie things up, but this is a best of 3. No grab tech again. Derpy just completely refusing to even attempt to tech these grabs.
And there's the down 1 challenge. Now immediately goes for his own grab. And there it is, the counter hit. But Derpy again establishing that low.
Spending it. Cancel with the jab. Oh, it's going to get blocked. This should be a
crushing blow ready. There it is. Smashed. And there it is, a full corner combo.
Absolutely no breakaway either. That just hurt. Disrespects and holding up on wake up. He's going to pay the ultimate price for that one. Derpy staying composed in the corner. And it won the whole thing. Xarakamaka going in with a big read. The jump, the big thing would have given him A combo if he got a whiff punish, and B, just a really favorable position. So Xarakamaka bet big with that one. It just didn't work out.
What I think that one of the biggest game changers there, though, was if Derpy read the grab, instead of kind of just sitting there and taking it, as opposed to like not pressing buttons, going for that down 1 challenge on the dash cancels, right? Cabal is never guaranteed pretty much anything off the dash cancels. So if you think he's going to go for something that relies on your respect, obviously down one's going to beat it, yeah.
Oh, the acid!
Xarakamaka took almost just as much damage in that situation. Woo! Tries to whiff punish, but again, Derpy, he doesn't want to overcommit. You can tell he very rarely finishes strings on whiff.
Speaking of whiffing, though, Xarakamaka is whiffing like a madman, and Derpy, he must be convinced he's going to finish the string, so he doesn't actually try and pull the trigger on the whiff punish. Instant jump kick. Big damage, full combo as well, no tech again. Xarakamaka looking to be all Cabal so far this round. It's been really good today. Wake up down 1. Trade, so not horrendously punished, but yeah, this round has been really unfortunate for Derpy. He's going to get a throw tech at last, but...
Oh, that's a counter hit, but didn't quite finish the string.
I don't think he was prepared for it to catch him.
There's a bar spent again. Xarakamaka starved for offensive meter, but doesn't need it to finish off this amount of health. Big jump back into another grab, and that's again going to put Xarakamaka on match point.
We did see this in the last game. Derpy did lose round 1, so he's been able to come back before, but Xarakamaka just being a little bit more, like, I guess unpredictable in the neutral is one of the big things he's doing here. Low saw. If you have the life lead, oh, jump back! Yeah, and that's it. If you have the reactions to confirm the dash, you can just cancel it when you know it's whiffed. Xarakamaka with the reactions on deck.
And yeah, full screen. Again, Derpy getting some damage off the acid. Puts it back into it. That's both bars gone, though. I love Xarakamaka's use of the amplified air saw for that, though. I absolutely love how he plays around it.
There's the grab. Haven't really seen Derpy actually be in a position to land much grabs, to be honest. There's the disrespect, instantly challenging it. I think that was actually a button press on wake up, it looked like to me.
It was. Derpy, like he was just expecting the block or not. I mean, it hit anyway, so it's a little bit of damage.
He's eating too many of those. He's eating too many saws. Not going to be happy with that one, Derpy. Starting to run away from him a little bit. Has fatal blow. So now Xarakamaka has to be careful.
Oh, there's the overhead. And straight into the acid. Yeah, Derpy definitely not going to enforce the double overhead now. Xarakamaka. Oh, almost in fatal blow. I actually wondered if he was going to deliberately stand in it just to get fatal blow. Wow! He just literally pulls the trigger and gets the fatal blow. Now Xarakamaka probably... Yeah, he's super dead. He's super dead.
100,000,000% he's dead. But that is going to be match point for both players. The important thing, though, is that this round is going to be favoring Xarakamaka. He's got fatal blow, and that full screen fatal blow versus Aaron Black is going to be dangerous.
Well, but if Derpy can get him down there with a nice life lead, it's not going to have that much of a distance. Okay, another grab coming through from Xarakamaka. Going to keep Derpy in the corner, no doubt. See, Derpy still has those 8 shots as well. Hasn't really had the chance to establish the rifle. It's not really that kind of matchup.
Honestly, just content sitting there taking every grab so far. Good block on the overhead. Knows that this variation can't get a mix-up. We're going to get a punish now. Crushing blow activated.
No defensive bar, though, because obviously he's gone for the cancel, but he drops the combo. That's huge.
Very important, actually, that he landed that damage. He would have evened things up some. Now he has to do a lot more work just to bring the life lead back.
It's almost even, but not quite, right? Almost still means you aren't in the grand scheme of things. Oh, okay, manages to hit him out of it. Xarakamaka. Oh, there's the rifle.
Oh, no! He finally decides to start shooting bullets and most of them miss. Here's the grab, though.
Now he's just going to put him in fatal blow territory. No, just on the cusp.
Oh,
A down 4 again. Oh, the whiff grab. Oh, no, that could be huge.
Oh, the jump kick! No, fatal blow, and Xarakamaka disrespects on Wake Up. I don't know how the end of that round took place, but somehow it did. Derpy gets the win on Xarakamaka 2-1.
That went from like...
That was really weird at the end.
That went from like really slow pace to like absolute chaos in like the space of like 5 seconds. That was just... I mean, it's what can happen though, right? If you do get opened up there on black and the acid is in play and you realize you are that low, if the fatal blow connected... You know, it maybe could have taken the game. So again, you kind of understand the idea behind it. But when the jump kick is already there, you know, Derpy, he's looking to meet you with the jump normal. Not so likely to work in that situation. I understand why Xarakamaka did it, but unfortunately it didn't quite pay off.
It was really one of those almost like spaghetti ways for a game to finish where it's so patient and so composed the entire time. And then at the end...
Until it hits the fan.
And then
everyone's like,
right at the last minute. It's like, hang on, what was that? What was going on? Who did what? Where? But at the end of the day, when those scrambles take place, it takes the more composed player to be able to actually recover. And if that was like MKX Derpy, I think Xarakamaka would have won that. It's only because it was the entirety of Injustice 2 gave Derpy more confidence offline, more ability to just be careful in tournament settings and not really let the stress or the pressure get to him. And now times have changed. You know, Xarakamaka did look really good though. He did look exceptionally strong.
I really like how he's gone for Mean Streak Cabal. I actually like...
It fits him better.
I think it's a perfect pick for a player like him. Because even though he lost that set, it was super close. And Derpy has been like successful in tournaments in the UK so far. And obviously he's looking to continue that on through just playing really well. But that was a really close game. And Xarakamaka brought him down to the bottom. I'm just going to get some water because I can feel my voice is escaping me somewhat. But really impressive overall.
I'm going to use that as an opportunity as well, actually. Sorry.
That's not how it works. So we're both going to have the downtime.
Normally it's unprofessional, but I'm a thirsty man, so I'm going to drink some water.
My apologies, stream chat.
One of the things as well, actually, also, is the fact that the one thing about the matchup is that one variation of Cabal, the dash cancels cost defensive bar, right? So, you know, that was the one element where he would go for cancels and then get clipped, and we never saw him break away because he never could break away. That is the risk you take. That is the one risk, I think.
But I feel like we definitely have to talk about the very bold decision that Derpy made to just never throw tech. Because by the time you're on, like, Game 3, last round, and Derpy is still, like, not even attempting throw techs. Because that's, again, another thing about MK11 that, you know, more observant ones of you will notice, in the sense that, like, if someone attempts to tech and they tech in the wrong direction, or they press a button and it gets beaten out, the game literally comes up and tells you, right? You know, throw tech failed, or throw tech punish, or something like that. It will tell you if they try and do something and your throw beats that option. Whenever Derpy would get thrown there, and the many, many times he ate a throw, nothing came up, which meant he just straight up was just holding block, and that was it. So he must have just gone into that match with the mindset of, he's playing Mean Streak Cabal, it costs him defensive bar, if he wants to spend all of his defensive bar just to get a throw, I'll take it. But the problem is, obviously Xarakamaka is the kind of player that will twig onto that and be like, oh, well, if you're just never going to take a throw, I'm just going to do nothing but throw you. And then you saw Derpy really kind of by force have to adjust at the end. You saw him start to go for the down ones on the dash cancels to try and challenge. He was going for those options. Because, I mean, you can stick to it. You can have a game plan and stick to it, but if it doesn't work out, there comes a point that you have to realize, okay, well, maybe I wasn't right about this going in.
Also, yes, at the same time, a lot of the turnarounds we saw Derpy go for were when he finally blocked a charge, where either the cancel was... I won't assume the cancel was messed up.
Most of the charges were from long range, to be fair, where you obviously can't.
But those, but a lot of blocked charges sort of ended up being like the key to the comeback that we saw Derpy make in a couple of those rounds. Waiting for our next matches on stream, guys, so bear with us. But while you're watching, remember this is Reflect 2019, where... this is another gathering of UK's finest, really, when it comes to Mortal Kombat. We have some old players, we have some new players. It's been good so far.
A good bunch.
It has been a good bunch. I see Afoxygrampa now in the crowd. So
he's finally here.
He was
going to be late, but no. He looks really tired. It looks like he slept for like 2 hours. He's literally falling asleep in his chair. Yeah, look at him.
What a tired boy.
Look at that, the UK, one of the UK trios right there.
That is one of the UK trios now.
Omega, Foxy, and obviously Derpy.
I think all three of them. I can't remember if all three of them are going to be in LA. I don't think Omega.
I don't think Omega. Yeah, literally yawning. I don't think Omega is going to be in LA. I think he's at Celtic Throwdown. Oh, someone turned the lights off, and now the room looks really moody.
I'm sad now. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good lord.
Oh.
I'm actually really excited to see what our top 8 looks like, though, because, of course, we've only seen a couple of players on stream thus far, but we do have, obviously, Happy Pow is here. We're having his money match against I'm Still the Daddy tomorrow.
Big match?
The
so it
big
is
match?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes. Tomorrow's going to be 1st to 10, Jackie. I think their rules are it's 1st to 10, £500 each. Each player gets 2 characters they can use. So ISDD has Baraka and Geras, and Happy Pow has Jackie and Raiden.
So
I think he's going to start with Raiden.
I didn't know that Happy Pow even played Raiden.
Me neither until he told me that.
Yeah, that's... Did he tell you that today?
No, he told me that a few days ago.
Okay. You kept that close to your chest.
Yeah, man. Keeping the secrets, man. I'll never breach your confidence, anyone out there. NDAs, for me, no problem.
What was that pitch? What was that pitch you
I'm
just
letting
gave?
you know that I can keep a secret in the video games
I am a
industry.
trustworthy individual. And
I know the truth.
I know
and I'll
the
keep
truth.
it to myself.
Don't forget what all these other guys are saying. You know the truth.
I do. But while we're talking about the top players that are here for the weekend, Afoxygrampa is taking the seat at the stream station now.
Yeah.
I really don't really know what to make of his character choice in this game. Because he's very much, obviously, like, when the chips are down, Cassie is, like, the majority of what he plays.
But he's going up against Yesey. Poor old Yesey,
no.
man.
Oh, no, not Yesey.
Yesey always... So, Yesey, for those...
You broke my train of thought, but don't worry, it's okay for this. I don't mind.
So, for those unaware, Yesey is
The Hyper Combo usual viewers will know immediately.
You guys... I mean,
immediately.
maybe. If you watch Hyper Combo, you'll already be familiar with Yesey, but... Yesey is a old school UK FGC
Chip Shop
man.
boys. Chip Shop.
Chip Shop boys. And by Chip Shop boys... of which Streamlord Will is one as well, I believe.
You're a chip shop boy.
Chip Shop OG, mate.
So in London, it was the arcade OGs, but if you're from the Midlands, it's the Chip Shop boys, like Chip Shop OGs. And what we mean by that is, back in the day, like back in the
Stone Age,
day,
the prehistoric era
of when all there was Street Fighter and King of Fighters, right, on arcades back in like the 90s and that. The only arcades that existed, or the only arcade machines that existed in the UK, in the Midlands, were like in chip shops and fast food joints and bowling alleys.
It wasn't like the only ones. There was like proper arcades as well, but there were so many just random machines just in like chip shops, in like news agents and like corner shops.
But like buttons
crazy.
wouldn't work. Like Player 2's heavy punch wouldn't work.
Yeah, like you would very often have Street Fighter 2 and you'd have 3 buttons. And if you were lucky, you would have 2 kicks and a punch. Sometimes you would also have, instead of arcade machine buttons, you might find you've got those big rectangular like fruit machine buttons.
Oh my god!
To try and play with.
Oh no, I didn't even know that.
This was the tech, mate. This is what went down in the chip shop.
Yesey is of the chip shop generation, right?
Chip shop generation.
The chip shop
I
generation.
love that. So
Representing chip shop OGs everywhere.
But I mean,
he did proclaim that he thought it was Mortal Kombat 2 when he first sat down. I just want to know that.
Oh really? Oh, I see. So he saw the 11 and was like, "Oh, it's a 2 Mortal Kombat 2 tournament."
But he's here. He's
just
here.
like the chip shop days.
Yesey is here mostly. He's helped run the event, but he's mostly here for Street Fighter 2 and Third Strike, as they are his.
I mean,
games.
shouts to Jesse. He's always here, putting in the graft,
fighting
helping
EX
out.
Layer, fighting EX Layer UK squad assemble is all I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
Most of the UK fighting EX Layer community is in this room.
Wait, we're going to see a Shaolin showdown on the tournament stage, though, not even on the trap dungeon.
However, Yesey always takes part and plays all the new games, but he always draws the short straw. He always has to fight like the killer.
He's always a bottom seed, right? So he's going to have a higher chance at playing the top seed, which I assume is Foxy. But we're talking before about Foxy's character choice, right? I know, like we all know Kung Lao is like his passion character, right? He loves Kung Lao, but we typically see him play Cassie most of the time. The health bars are not lowered again. Great.
Does that mean this isn't tournament mode? Is this going to be an issue?
It should be.
No, there are separate. The tournament options and the normal versus options both have lowered health bars that have to be toggled on.
Okay, because they were lowered earlier. I'll have to go over and check.
No, it was the same thing at Common Breaker. It kept happening. So tournament
right.
mode and general options both have lowered health bars separately. So you have to make sure that it's lowered on both of them and then save.
Why don't they just pick tournament mode?
I mean, they did. It says wins lost at the top. I think more likely the other one probably wasn't tournament mode.
Or it reset or something.
Maybe. I mean, they might be on a different profile.
Oh, maybe they logged into.
I mean, we can literally just have the players check before they play. That's all. It's on the main menu.
I'll check after the game. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, for sure. No problem. But obviously, Foxy, as we can talk about it, is a clean out here. One of the stronger things about Kung Lao is his down 2 recovery is a lot faster than most characters. So if he does a down 2 and you're off the floor in pretty much any degree, you're probably getting comboed for at least 30%, right? It's just one of the strong things to Kung Lao. Now, we know Kung Lao is a character that Foxy really loves, but the thing about Kung Lao is he's a lot more dangerous to play than Cassie, you know, for a lot of reasons in terms of like whiffing or just hard reads can hurt him a lot. Big wake-up attack launch coming from Yesey, but no combo, and there it is, the brutality. Oh, I'm so happy that's the default brutality as well, so we always get to see that in tournaments.
Learn from this.
Learn from this times one.
From this.
I love the way the hat falls on his head, but like he kind of bops down a little bit as it hits his head. He's just like, whoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he recognized it, but it doesn't bother him that much.
The impact of the hat took him by surprise, just a little bit. Just a tiny amount.
There we go, lowered health bars, and then tournament, do it in tournament mode! Check the tournament! They didn't check the tournament mode. They did it on general again. It's going to be the same problem. I'd shout, but I'm wearing a headset.
The stream setup doesn't have Frost.
Oh, for goodness sake.
we just unlocked Frost and all the other ones.
We all spent like half an hour unlocking Frost on like the
Damn, all those UK Frost players will be real disappointed.
There it is, look, there we go. Did they save?
You learn something new every day.
We learned from this, you could say. So again, I'll finish my talking point eventually, I'm sure. Ooh. But we know that obviously Kung Lao he'll play against, I think, certain matchups and certain players. I think Kung Lao is more of a player matchup for Foxy than characters for the most part.
If he knows,
because he enforces a certain style. If you mash a lot, if your throw tech game ain't so good, it's a Kung Lao matchup.
Yes.
Right. That's pretty much the gist of it.
But if you're really good at taking throws, and maybe even your character is good at taking throws, like Jackie, he'll go Cassie instead. Like, Foxy will never pick Kung Lao into Jackie again after Combo Breaker. Because obviously...
I mean, you never know, he might.
I highly doubt it, honestly. Unless, as a Jackie player, you mash and disrespect a lot, and, you know, then Kung Lao will eat you for breakfast. But I can hear a lot of the... some of the old school Street Fighter crowd trying to cheer on Yesey, but unfortunately the wake-up fail blow didn't work out. Foxy was just more than ready.
Oh no, the slight bags! No, the mini bags! Oh.
Yesey just went, if that was Mortal Kombat 2, that would have worked.
I mean, he's not wrong. Liu Kang is in it. Oh, the bags! Oh no, Foxy, what are you doing?
The disrespect.
Oh no.
The disrespect from this man. I wonder if it's because the crowd are making noise and Foxy's doing this just to make the crowd angry.
I mean, as Foxy said many times, he doesn't play to win. He plays to make you lose.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to have fun. He just wants to make sure that you don't.
Escape failed, though. Didn't take the grab.
Yeah. If he gets a grab.
Ooh. Foxy caught mid-bag and he got clipped by the forward.
Oh, no, the punish.
Uh-oh. Now, the problem is this is constantly working because Yesey is
the block.
Oh, no!
Mid, the disrespect.
Just guessing wrong every time. Guessing wrong every time. Poor old Yesey.
Throw more mid.
No! He's gone. He's out. He's gone. He's out. He's done.
Yeah,
the game is over.
Oh, no.
Round of applause.
We'll give that one.
Well done, Yesey. Well done, Yesey. We're proud of you. Proud of you. I signed up for Mortal Kombat 2, but it turns out it was actually 11.
Oh, man. I mean...
Chip shop generation, man. That's it. Mortal Kombat 2 was a chip shop game.
I can imagine putting that near food would have been a bit odd back in the day. You know what I mean?
Because it was hyper-realistic.
You're waiting on your cod and chips, and then you look over there, and then some dude just like pulls someone's head off. You know what? You know what, guys? I'm
waiting for my fresh order of a fish cake and a battered sausage and chips. I look to my left, and Shiva
fish cake and a battered sausage.
Shiva has just skinned someone. I'm like,
oh, Savaloy. I'll have a Savaloy instead.
I'll have 2 Savaloys.
My lord. But we will be seeing Ganondorf, one of our out of towners, you could say.
That's a stretch.
Ganondorf, obviously one of the French lads. I'm sure that there are some French players watching. Obviously there are multiple European events this weekend as well with French representation.
Fighting Games Challenge as well going on this very weekend, part of the Intercontinental Combat.
But of course, Ganondorf, I feel like Ganondorf deserves a lot more props than he typically gets. You know, Ganondorf isn't one of the players that you see on like the top end of placements, usually. Although he did get 9th in Soul Calibur at Combo Breaker.
He did. Ganondorf very nearly was able to secure top 8 for Soul Calibur 6 at Combo Breaker this year, like a few weeks ago.
So that was like over 250 people in that.
That was a massive tournament.
Yeah,
that was a massive tournament, and Ganondorf almost got top 8.
But yeah, he's the NetherRealm scene really kind of is his home at this point. You know, like obviously all of the French guys, you know, a huge tight knit community. Shoutouts to the French MK players.
Always.
Really, you know, big supporters of each other. Whenever you hear players, you know, kind of popping off and getting hype in the crowd at events, 9 times out of 10 it's usually the French guys by this point. But
the finality is going to be unbearable.
I mean, you say unbearable, I think perfect.
I mean, when I say unbearable, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's going to be
Can
sick.
unbearable ever be meant in a good way?
It was that. I'm not even going to mention that. Never mind.
You were going. I don't know what you were saying.
I was going to say, did you fire a shot at unbearable skill?
No, that's not what I meant.
I know it wasn't, but I wanted to say it.
If anything, you would do it because I'm saying it's fine. That unbearable.
No, I said it was fine, and you said, "Is
I'm
it?"
confused.
Nah,
Dude, shout-outs to unbearable skill. Shout-outs to unbearable skill.
Yeah, man. You created this whole conversation.
I didn't. You did. I think you'll find this is 100% your fault. But it is going to be Ganondorf versus Derpy. So like I was saying before, Ganondorf, I feel like he deserves a lot more props because
he's a world warrior,
this man is a world warrior. He travels everywhere for the games he plays. He's been to Evo Japan on a whim. He's obviously come to the UK. He came to the UK just for Hyper Combo, just to play casuals in Tekken and MKX. From French. From French. No, it's because I heard
Ganondorf came all the way from French for this match.
It's because
I heard big match.
No, I heard Happy Pal shouting in French as I said that and was going to point it out. So I said came all the way from French.
Is that Mr. Crimson as well?
I think so. No, it's
I'm really bad with faces.
Is it
Leo?
Leo, yes, Leo.
Yeah, I'm horrendous with faces. Unfortunately, I'm really bad.
Wait, where the hell did that come from? Where we get a UK flag?
Because he knows that Happy Pal's sitting next to him.
Oh, I see.
They've got to compete. They've got to compete. So Ganondorf would have won some of his matches off stream, even though his favourite character is Raiden.
Do we actually know what point in the bracket this is? Do we have access to that
This is for top 8, isn't it?
Yeah, let me double check, sorry.
It's nearly for top 8.
I think this might actually be for top 8.
But
obviously, top 8 is being played tomorrow.
On the same Twitch, though, guys, so don't worry. You haven't got to go to an extra stream or anything like that.
Yeah, this is winners semi-finals, which is the winner will go straight to top 8, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so this actually is a
top 8 winners, boys.
Top 8
Who has Ganondorf
match.
had to beat in the bracket? Do you have any names
He
there?
has beaten Hado Shrooms and Naga so far.
Okay, so this is the first, I guess, like big match for him.
This is his real test, yeah.
Yeah, this is a real
Of course,
test.
Derpy we saw defeat Xarakamaka 2-1 moments before.
He's already had an early victory. That's the big thing about Derpy, is that he's already had an early... Has the game frozen again, maybe? I don't know. Well, he's gone to talk to...
Has it frozen again?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on. I wonder if it's worth swapping the console out.
I think we should just swap out the console, honestly. I think that's probably for the best.
Hi, guys.
Hello,
I personally think we should swap that console out with one of the off-stream ones, because we know that's fine.
It also has Frost.
Yes, it does. Just in case any of these guys want to swap.
I mean, if I was playing, I'd need it. Because Frost is sick. I like Frost a lot.
You're like the only Frost player in the UK, though, I'm pretty sure. One of.
And I'm not even in the tournament. How about that?
You don't really get to play anymore.
Not really. I mean, it's because I'm commentating, and I like this, you know. I like sitting here with you guys, chatting all that good stuff, talking about the £1,000 prize pot that we have here, courtesy of CX. Shout-outs to CX for obviously powering Reflect 2019. Again, this is the first tournament that Reflect has done in the UK. This is a new established event in the UK tournament scene. You know, fingers crossed we do see it again next year.
I hope so. The UK has been in dire need of an extra UK tournament, and you know, for the longest time it was pretty much versus fighting. Well, it was hype spotting and versus fighting, and hype spotting kind of went on hiatus, and now Reflect has kind of like risen from those ashes, as it were. And now, you know, here we are. The UK has another event it can call its own for people to travel to. This is a Capcom Pro Tour ranking event. I believe it has some sort of involvement in the Tekken World Tour. I think it's a dojo, perhaps.
I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say.
I mean, I think so. I see Tekken World Tour in the thing underneath, so maybe.
I mean, I assume it has something, otherwise it wouldn't be.
But either way, it's, you know, for a year one, I think we're off to a very strong start, and this is a nice UK event where we've started to see the UK NRS scene come together for another time. We can see Foxy. We have the French invasion that is taking place. We're about to see that in our next match. I'm excited. This is a reverse. We saw the UK invade France for Stunfest. Dizzy, TT, and Foxy were in grand finals.
I really hope the health bars are lowered.
After all this nonsense.
Every time you have to reset the health bars, just stay up.
Maybe not.
So
Maybe
I assume we're not seeing the button check then, because I've already hit the fist bump.
I think so. Yeah, they would have fist bumped.
Of course, Ganondorf is a Cetrion player in MK.
Very patient.
11. I think it really fits his style, right? He likes the longer range characters nowadays, really kind of excels from that range.
I mean, he plays as well in Soul Calibur, so I'm not surprised.
Well, of course, it is 2 out of 3. Cetrion, not a very popular character in the UK, to be honest.
No, the only UK Cetrion player I'm aware of is Equinox at the moment.
Ooh. Oh, and there's the counter hit, but not going to spend the crushing blow. So again, Derpy does that a lot. You see, he typically only goes for the 2-1 to minimize the chance of being hit by the wake-up roll, but Ganondorf's still got the chance. Ooh, okay, the stagger.
Yeah, that airborne projectiles, I think it's like plus 18 or something crazy. It's very, very plus on hit, so Ganondorf resetting with it. Doesn't matter too much though now, Derpy. Gonna just block the low.
Oh, okay.
Full screen isn't the end of the world for Aaron Black, especially if he has a life lead, but he's trying to get some projectiles off, and it's really kind of causing him some issues.
I just realized, yeah, Ganondorf actually isn't playing the variation we typically see that has, like, you know, the Geyser and the teleport. He's actually opted to go for the ground pound.
He plays this variation a lot more. Whenever we see Ganondorf play, he kind of favors this one instead. Gets through one hit of the ground pound, but unfortunately not the second. The projectile destroy is only really doing so much now. Derpy has a lot of work to do.
Oh, doesn't hit her out the air.
Almost got in. Whiff grab. Potentially put Ganondorf in harm's way, but Derpy didn't answer back. That should be a punish. Oh,
we tried.
Very tight punish, that one. Delayed grab.
Very delayed forward.
And now he's fatal blowable. So if he presses anything from full screen now, Derpy should be able to close it out. Woo! He stayed in the air. That was so good. Derpy a little bit itchy on the trigger finger there. Right, he has 2 bars of defense. Oh, wait a minute. And he has to jump now. Oh my god, what's going on? Oh, the delay! What the grab? Oh, it is enough, Derpy! Literally with a second on the clock. 1 second, man!
But at no point looked like he was losing his cool. You know what I mean? Like that was all part of his master plan.
I feel like he threw the acid to try and get Ganondorf to jump so he could fatal blow, but the fatal blow wasn't really around, and he couldn't afford to trade anymore because he didn't have the health.
I actually wondered if that's why he opted to go for the jump kick, because due to the fatal blow, Ganondorf, in theory, would have been more likely to sit there. A drop combo from Derpy. You can see already with how lame the matchup could be. You can't really afford to drop combos like that, but Ganondorf opting not to go for the breakaway. Another combo drop from Derpy.
A little bit shaky here, I think, but disrespect Ganondorf. I don't know if that was a missed input, but he's actually going to get the combo now. Knocked down. Delayed. Probably expected some kind of wake-up attack.
Yeesh.
Ganondorf just consistently getting clipped, and the slide! That was an Indiana Jones moment right there.
Is that because he's Aaron Black?
He has a hat on and he slid under it.
Yeah. I saw it a mile away. But Ganondorf, though, has full screen. Now, this actually is a situation for him to win it back again. He has to switch out for the fatal blow. Oh, there's the punish! Of course, there is a gap there. Derpy with the knowledge. Ganondorf going for the ground pound, but there's a clean punish from full screen. But the thing is, right, that right there, you know, I know Cetrion has, you know, a reputation for being not a very spectator-friendly character due to, obviously, the projectile nature of how she plays. But that is why the first round, Ganondorf he came very, very close to taking it because he had the full screen control. The second round, Derpy spent 90% of it directly in his face, and you saw just how quickly Cetrion's health just disappeared, right? She doesn't have amazing options. She doesn't have like the fastest pokes in the game, definitely on the slower end of things. So that's why she needs to play from that distance. That is what she's built to do.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that Ganondorf's defense there was weak. I think he was just going for big decisions every single time. Like how many times he just got clipped by a raw string by itself.
Apologies, that's who won the first game.
Derpy won the first game. Crushing blow, just like that. You look away for a split second and a crushing row already gets used. Madness. And again, Ganondorf just being very, I guess, disrespectfully challenging on the defense. He's just going for those big ducks every time and just getting clipped over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, when Aaron Black has you in the corner, like, he's not going to be going for mids too likely, right? It's usually going to be the standing 2, which is a high, so you do have space to make that read, but not a lot of time to react. And that's what's been letting Ganondorf down so far. Ooh. Big range on the explosion.
No amplify left, though. He's going to take. He can no longer afford to take these trades. He has access to Fatal Blow, but has a very slow startup for Aaron Black, and oh no. Oh, there it is, the rifle. Only spends 4 shots. Half down, half left, and Derpy is on match point. 1 life bar away from making it into top 8 on the winner's side tomorrow. This would actually be a really good result for him. Derpy having to get through both Xarakamaka and Ganondorf is a very tidy bracket to conquer. If you're trying to get top 8, no crushing blow can be used anymore, but he's still going to get the knockdown into favorable situation. Now, does Ganondorf use opportunity to side switch? He does. He goes again. That standing 1 reset. We've seen him go for that twice now.
but the damage so left behind, and that's a counter hit too, and he will take it. Derpy gonna spend that crushing blow. Ganondorf forced to break away and is now completely starved of resources. Gets the punish, but even if he would have got a string, that's about it. He had no bar. The damage there would not have been too much. And again, Derpy, seeing that there is no resource for Ganondorf, so the mix-ups are now not so dangerous to go for. Oh, there it is.
That entire sequence.
Oh, he's gonna land on it.
He's dead. He's got to be dead. Surely there's nothing he can do. Oh! Gunshot as well. What a clean 2-0 for Derpy there. Right at the end, Aaron Black doing the classic, which is putting you in a near unwinnable situation.
Was that the last bullet he had in the rifle as well?
I think so.
Damn,
I think it was.
That was like super anime.
So that's going to be Derpy.
Did not miss the clutch
moving
shot.
on into... No, he did not. Derpy moving on into winner's side, top 8. We'll be seeing him play again tomorrow. That was a great result for him, to be honest. Like, he's had to get through Xarakamaka already, which was a close 2-1. And then taking out Ganondorf 2-0 as well was, I think, a path he can be proud of. And now he can just sit pretty, practice, and get ready for tomorrow.
Well, the thing is, like, Ganondorf looked not quite as comfortable in the matchup as I thought you could be here. I know, obviously, that's a matchup. We saw Sonic Fox play it against Dragon in the online Pro Comp Cup. Millie, was it last week? I think it was last week, right?
Or the online cup.
Has it already been a week? Not too long ago. I forget the exact day it was, but of course, we saw him play it, so clearly it's a matchup that Aaron Black players don't mind playing. But even then, you saw the difference, right, between a Cetrion that has the teleport and the Geyser against a Cetrion that has the ground pound and the explosion, right? Like, it's very different. The ground pound is more of a, you know, I suppose, contrast to the boulders, right? The boulders keep you there. The ground pound then, obviously, ground pound on hit gives you another boulder. Whereas the Geyser is more of a, it is more of a combo tool. I know it does work from full screen, but it's low damage for what it is. It is very minor, so it does give you a lot of, you know, space to get in from full screen. So that variation seems to be more of a straight up, I want you at full screen at all times. But Aaron Black is a character that doesn't mind playing from that range. You know, he doesn't mind it at all. He has a lot of tools. He's got the counter zoning. He has the acid, which again, if you want to sit there and do ground pounds in a pool of acid, you're just going to take 10% every time.
Exactly, and I think, you know, it was just a lot of preparation. Derpy, his decision-making is also getting better and better, and it's those good decisions that allowed him to sort of clutch out that first round. You know, 1 second on the clock was ridiculous. But we have Foxy now sitting down. We're going to be seeing a little more Foxy. Stunfest t-shirt. Is this one of our French players, or?
I don't know.
Or is it a UK chap with a Stunfest shirt?
This guy has the name Humba.
Humba. I can't say I'm familiar with him myself, personally, but obviously he's managed...
Humba, representing Oplon.
Of which, sorry?
Oplon.
Oplon?
Yes, that was not useful information.
Okay, yeah, no, it's alright, it's more.
So he's going Cassie here. Now, does this mean Foxy's familiar? Yeah, Sonya Blades. So Foxy's going into this, I think, with some knowledge. He picked Cassie before he even saw Sonya get picked, which he must have known that Sonya was going to be picked in this situation.
But this lends itself to, you know, the thing I was saying before in terms of he really plays Cassie and Kung Lao together, but it is more of it's matchup first, and then it's like player second. We know that this is...
it is one of our French players. I thought so.
This is
the Stunfest show is a bit of a giveaway.
This is Foxy's choice when it comes to Sonya players, and we saw him play this a lot against Dizzy, actually in the Stunfest Grand Finals. You know, funny we should be talking about Stunfest. Because obviously Foxy managed to get second place there, losing only to Dizzy TT. They managed to reset the bracket in Grand Finals, but you know, he did do really well for himself beforehand.
But now this matchup is going to be slow-paced, and Foxy will choose to play it as such because, you know, he gets good damage from the confirms, the restand situation as well, safety off that, you know, the amplified drop from the up kick. But the big thing is low gunshot with a life lead. You know, Cassie can really play around that. She can low profile that energy ring. The big thing as well is that forward 4 stagger game. I know we're starting to see more and more Cassies implement it. It's a 9-frame, I think it's 0 on block. Plus 18. It's like plus 18 or something crazy. It really is like very, very plus. I can't remember the exact number, but the TLDR is you cannot challenge it when you get hit. You have to respect what comes next.
Well, you say it's going to be a slower game, which, you know, you normally wouldn't assume is the case if Sonya is on the screen. But that's why Cassie is good for this matchup. It really forces Sonya to play at a speed that she doesn't want to play at a distance she's not used to playing from, right? You know, typically you do see the Ring Blast being anti-full screen for Sonya, right? Just that one projectile by itself normally commands full screen respect. But then you have this crouching gunshot from Cassie going underneath. And even if she goes for the amplified version for the ring, it's going to trade favorably for Cassie, right? It knocks down, it does a decent amount of damage. It's just a really good option for that. And it forces Sonya to play this kind of like just outside of jump distance where Sonya doesn't normally want to. You know, she wants to be in your face, getting those pokes, establishing the mix-ups, going for the big damage. But Cassie really stops.
No amplify, but at this stage, not very important. Ooh.
Wow! Okay, has a chance.
I think that was an energy ring, but it was like a happy accident, right? The standing one comes out instead, and it just happens to whiff punish. Foxy hitting the forward four, and then just stepping back, knowing that if you're going to try and challenge, she'll just catch you. And yeah, with no amplify, Foxy had to be very, very careful with how he advanced there. Takes the first game, slower paced in the round number 2, but all in all, very comfortable for the boy.
But that's why he picks her, right? This is a matchup he's used to. Obviously, one of his main training partners is Dizzy TT. You know, one of the young guns from the UK. Sonya is his main character, which is why, you know, Dizzy was, I believe, 9th place at Common Breaker with Sonya too. So, you know, clearly he has a strong training partner to get used to it. Obviously, Humba, he's playing. Oh, okay. Wow. Managed to go straight into it on block. Foxy caught off guard. He's not playing the matchup badly either. Foxy is just clearly in the driver's seat. But that's what he wants to do in this matchup, right? He wants to be in control.
Similar to a Cetrion type character, when Cassie has no amplify, though, her punish game becomes very weak. You know, even both variations, you know, in the variation with the drone, she still needs to amplify that to stun you. So, yeah,
but then with no bar, she's going to back up and
exactly
keep you away.
She can delay the inevitable, which is exactly what Foxy's actually doing. He's keeping it one hit at a time, keeping it very, very careful while he rebuilds the meter. And by the end of this animation, we're now going to go into round number 2. He's got 2 bars of amplify. Match point for Afoxygrampa, looking very comfortable indeed.
Dash up throw. And again, like at that range, that the back 2, the long range mids, when they're all a threat, you can't crouch. So that quick little dash up throw. And Cassie has one of the longer throw ranges in the game as well. So it's so dangerous. Especially for a player like Foxy, who's been playing this style for years. Right, this is how he played Melina.
I mean, this is actually the big thing is that
big whip punish, and then you get frustrated soldier. And you start sticking out buttons and the whip punish,
and you can play reactionary.
Oh,
he's got the low profiling as well. Afoxygrampa with a clean 2-0 is going to move on in the winners bracket.
I believe that's him top 8 winners as well.
That's a talking point though, isn't it, for Foxy? Is that if you were a piercing Melina player that lived and died heavily by that strong neutral, that Digital Soldier Cassie is like the variation you want to pick, you know, because she's got the low profiling, she's got the small little hurt box, she's got the damage, you can play very reactionary with her, she can low profile a lot of things, like she's got good buttons, good anti-air, she ticks all those boxes, which, you know, we even see people like Redox playing that variation of Cassie too, at least at Combo Breaker we saw it anyway. I don't know if he still plays it, but I think there's a reason that piercing Melina players are kind of flock to those kind of characters.
I mean, we have to remember, we also saw Sonic Fox quite recently say that, you know, on the back of his success in the online cup scene, he thinks Cassie might even be #1 in the game. You know,
I mean, she's definitely top 5 in my opinion. Definitely top 5.
But yeah, I like how almost weekly we're seeing these big statements, these big changes of opinions, because the game is evolving. You know, we're finding out so much more about the matchups and what the characters are capable of. Because again, I think a big part of it is competitive results and access to competition. We're seeing so many tournaments all over the world that's why we get to see the game evolve in this speedy way, this rapid way. Because, I mean, everyone's playing the game, and they're all playing it at the highest level. And obviously, Foxy, already no stranger to competition. We saw him at the Summit. We saw him at Combo Breaker. We saw him at Stunfest. We see him at Reflect. We'll probably see him at Viennality. I don't know if he's going to CEO. I think he probably is.
I imagine if it's Foxy, he's always a bit of a wild traveller, so I think he'll probably go to CEO. But we're starting to see a lot of players finally get their opportunity to, you know, make a name for themselves early, which is really important. It's hard for some players to be able to achieve that. And especially in the UK, this game is incredibly active. You know, a really decent amount of offline players from all scenes. You know, we have Manchester, Birmingham, Leicester, even now, Hyper Combo. We've started to see the rise of players in the Leicester area starting to play more Mortal Kombat. It brings a tear to my eye, does it? But, you know, obviously, London.
If we wound back the clocks like
Scotland, Ireland,
MK9 to now, to, you know, the difference in how many people are playing around.
Man, back in the MK9 days, if a tournament got announced and it had a £1,000 pop bonus, would have been like UK Super Major. You know, everyone would have gone to that.
Yep.
But I mean, that's just how things have changed and how things have grown. That you know, we have loads of players that take part, even without pop bonuses being mentioned in the first place. It's a nice evolution for the UK Mortal Kombat scene, and MK11 I think has been a fantastic game for it. If you've just joined us, welcome to Reflect 2019, the first of its kind. This is the first Reflect that has ever happened. However, it's about time the UK had another big landmark event for fighting games. You know, it was just versus fighting or nothing for a while, and now Reflect has kind of really taken that mantle to be like the next big UK.
I know that's the idea. You know, that is the idea. I know there are various.
May we hope it continues.
Well, the thing is, but that's what I feel like the UK FGC is just going from strength to strength. Of course, you've got Logan and the WSO guys doing amazing things down in London for like Street Fighter and Capcom.
Well, it stays on. They just had a Tekken 74-man dojo event for Tekken 7.
Yep.
Every UK head was there for the most part. Our NRS boy Nivek, however, he is also a sick Tekken player, make no mistake.
He got top 16 at Comma Breaker, right?
I believe it was top 16. I know he qualified for top 24, and I think he did get top 16 in the end.
Yeah, so strong player. Netherone boys represent. Thank you very much for doing us proud, mate.
Well done, guys.
But of course, even obviously Pistol or Not Star has been going on, which has been a lot of fun too. That was last year as well. Hopefully we see that again amongst like the various other regional events that kind of pop up here and there. But it's that kind of big major presence, right? That versus fighting is kind of flying the flag solo at the moment. That it needs some company up there, and fingers crossed we can see Reflect reach those heights. As of course, this is the first Mortal Kombat tournament that we've seen at this new event so far. And hopefully we get the chance to see more of these in the future.
There's a lot of people watching off-stream activity that's going on over there. I wish I knew.
I feel like we should have a game lined up.
Apologies, guys. The games that we're waiting for are both in progress at the moment, so we have a few more minutes before we have one of those subsequently available. But we'll be with you shortly.
It does mean that we will have a game very soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys.
Oh no, you guys are stuck with us for a bit longer.
I know. I wouldn't want to be you right now. At home. I'd go
I almost wore that flannel today.
Yeah,
we would have mirrored
like Combo Breaker again.
Yeah, Combo Breaker is different because we're there. It's Combo Breaker flannel. We just got it. Celebrate it.
Now I do wonder how some of these off-stream matches are going on. I do wonder how Xarakamaka is getting on.
Yeah, I assume there are some off-stream losers.
I wish I was taking it because I can hear
loud
French noises, which I assume is Happy Pal.
Shouts in French in subtitles whenever Happy Pal talks. But no, Happy Pal's great.
But we'll be seeing more of Happy Pal. I believe he's in like a 2 p.m. pool. So the pools are broken up. Some were at 12 o'clock. Now we're at 20 past 1. So the other set of pools will be in about 40 minutes or so. I assume Happy Pal is in those. Of course, Happy Pal, we have his big money match against I'm Still the Daddy tomorrow. I wish we had graphics to swap to because that would be so good.
We have my really bad Twitter images that I made. I should have maybe
sent them along. Made them into like one image.
A big versus graphic with a
light. Man. But that's going to be a money match tomorrow, 1st to 10 between Happy Pal and IceDD. £500 is being wagered from each player, so that should be.
I believe it's the first time players in Europe have played a higher stakes money match.
First that I've seen, at least that we know of.
It's just. I guess we'll talk more about it when the time comes, but it mostly came from.
I'm just talking about it because there's like no match. This is what we call filling in the business.
Yeah, this is the moment where it's we have to wait for the matches to come and we'll have a conversation, man.
I'm hearing an applause,
which means one of the matches might actually be ready. For all we know.
What happened?
Oh,
someone set us up the match.
I believe Xarakamaka Humba is on stream next.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Xarakamaka is going to be making his return. Again, Xarakamaka, one of those players that we don't get to see as often as I would like. I hope that obviously Xarakamaka coming to this event and there being, we've got Celtic Throwdown versus fighting. Obviously, Venality is shortly.
I mean, the three bigger ones.
I hope we get the chance to see, especially. I think maybe so. Someone like Xarakamaka typically stays within like the UK, right? I know Celtic Throwdown technically isn't the UK, but it's like easy enough to get to. It's like less than like a 30-40 minute flight, right? So I always kind of lump it in the same location.
Well, you can fly straight to Birmingham. That's very easy.
Exactly. So I hope we get the chance to see him at like Celtic Throwdown, hopefully versus fighting. Obviously, versus fighting being intercontinental, plenty to play for. I think the UK has never been in a better spot to have access to such, I suppose, strong tournament presence. This often, this regularly, from launch to now, this many times. Usually the UK has like a really kind of busy summer for like a month or two, and then it kind of dips out. Whereas from launch to now, the UK has had quite a lot to play for. And I hope it continues. I hope to see the train continue to roll.
I have no doubt that it will. But yeah, Xarakamaka on stream is going to be nice again to see. And can we get confirmation, Will? Is that for top 8? Loser side.
Just bear with me. I'll have a double check.
We shall consult yonder brackets.
That's how I'm actually gonna. Is top 8.
I'm gonna lean over and see what's been going on. So Xarakamaka just beat Leo actually off stream. It was Humba that beat Leo, it seems, in winner's side, and then Leo was defeated by Xarakamaka. Xarakamaka has beat Jenkins in losers. Who else? Let's have a look at some of these other ones. Ganondorf is waiting for the winner of Smash King or I Killed the Deku Tree, who was the Katana player we saw earlier on. So yeah, Humba and Xarakamaka, this will be for loser side top 8. And then Ganondorf is waiting for the winner of Smash King and I Killed the Deku Tree.
I think Ganondorf should, in theory, be able to secure a top 8 loser side. I definitely, when I think of the players that he has there, I think he should be able to. In theory, beat both of them.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I Killed the Deku Tree.
Going by my expert prediction.
But no, of course we saw I Killed the Deku Tree had some moments of real greatness against Derpy, but obviously Derpy has having quite the day, it seems. You know, managing to defeat obviously.
It's been a Derpy day.
Xarakamaka and Ganondorf both quite solidly. I think obviously he was quite close against Xarakamaka, probably the closest match he's had today. But Xarakamaka is plowing on through in the loser's side. I know Leo did well at Stunfest. I believe he got top 16, I want to say, at Stunfest, I think. And at some of like the smaller French kind of local stuff, he always seems to do well.
Well, one of my things about Xarakamaka is that in the past he's become quite victim to tournament nerves. He has very much so. The pressure of tournament has affected Xarakamaka, I think, more than arguably almost anyone I've seen, because even though he is such a talented player, his ability to, or his means to go offline and actually play in a tournament setting is something he still has not really done very much. And that does mean that if you're uninitiated to offline, even though you've been playing for a very long time, you could never quite get truly comfortable on stream or in a tournament set where you're sitting down, your name's been called, you know you've got to play now, and a lot of things can run through your head in those situations.
Well, the thing is, like, personally, I typically don't like ever assuming it's tournament nerves, because in my personal opinion, I always see that as a bit of a disservice to the player, right?
I think in Xarakamaka's case, I think it's an exception.
But that's what I mean. Normally, I don't like kind of using that as a talking point, because I don't think it's usually warranted for the case for a lot of players, right? Sometimes you make a mistake, you maybe have a bad day. But I think specifically for Xarakamaka, I would agree. Because of just the sheer difference in how he plays, the general way he is at tournaments, right? Like, but the best way around that is to enter, is to compete, which is why I'm so happy to see him here earlier in the game's lifespan. But of course, we have Xarakamaka coming up against Humba again. So I had a complete lapse of just forgetting what I'm saying for a moment.
I literally looked at you when you said that, and your eyes just went like wide open, like, hang on a minute.
What am I saying? Of course, we know he had a rough time against Afoxygrampa. It was a clean 2-0, but I think that's less a detriment to Humba and more of that's just how Foxy plays, right? Foxy is pretty much the MK king of Europe at this point. You know, during his kind of prime for MKX. It was pretty much, at least for Mortal Kombat, he was pretty much unstoppable in MKX. If it was a European event, it was pretty much just him first, and I think typically it was Madzin or Tekken Master getting second. It was always Foxy at number 1.
There are certainly more players in MK11 in Europe, I think, that might be able to bring a challenge to him. The big one, Dizzy TT, unable to enter this tournament, unfortunately, because of age restrictions, but
then defeats Foxy at their first tournament together.
Exactly. And
it's almost like the UK is getting better. Isn't that a possibility?
I mean, Dizzy TT in many ways is the new generation's Foxy, and he's fine with that, and Foxy's cool with that, because they are each other's main training partners. Foxy is really the one that has been mentoring Dizzy.
The scary thing about that, though, right?
Now I am the master.
The scary thing about Dizzy TT kind of being the young Foxy is he has all of Foxy's strengths, but he plays much dirtier characters.
He does. He does
Which
indeed.
is terrifying.
So, Xarakamaka, we're going to see him with the Cabal again, going in with the cancel variation. I love watching a good Cabal. Bumba, we saw Sonya. Didn't really get to see him do much against Foxy, but I mean, that's just Foxy, another day in the office.
Ooh, reversal.
That was not a reversal punish, that was just a hard read from Xarakamaka, really pulling out all the stops at the very beginning. Escape failed, and that's good news for Cabal.
That already gives Cabal that back throw mix-up. And this is a character that will get a lot of throws. So the question is, will the front throw become untechable now, or will he enforce the mix-up? Oh, the whiff punish.
Can you remember off the top of your head how plus on block Cabal's forward 3 is?
+6.
That's very good in this matchup, I think, for sure. Tries to forward 4 convert. Over extends, though. And now full combo.
Oh, restand into the down 1-2. Humba, I really like that choice. Oh, the jump over into a full combo. And defensive bar is there from Humba. I don't think he's going to bother. No, he isn't. A clean round end for Xarakamaka.
I think the jump actually was a good idea. We're so used to seeing Sonya players, they go in for the down 3 because sometimes it can jail into a standing 1, a back 1, sorry, which enforces the 50-50. If you're cornered against Sonya, you have to squirm. And those jump back projectiles into Amplify, they're so clean, man. Xarakamaka looking good.
No, I really like his use of the air saws there. Obviously, you know, the straight saw is unique to this variation, so he's playing around it much better than you normally can. And the reactions again! He's hit confirming air projectiles. And I like the way he's ending in the Nomad Dash just to be right in your face as you get off the ground. Because it's been meeting with the forward 4 and the mids so well. Jump in again, another hit confirm into the Nomad Dash, and that is going to be a clean... Oh no, not quite enough.
That scaled a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah, but Humba is still alive.
And now, yeah, he only has one more hit of Last Breath available.
Oh, good anti-air, but no bar to extend.
Oh, that was good news for Xarakamaka. What a clean game. And I feel like Humba is looking uncomfortable with the matchup. Because the thing is,
I mean, he's not getting hit by a lot of obvious things.
France has the Cabal matchup on lock, but not this variation.
I mean, obviously, you know, shouts to Makadi.
Exactly.
Solid
Makadi
Cabal player, but obviously he was playing clean cut.
That's my point, though, is that this is a very different matchup for Cabal. It's not the same kind of neutral you have to play because he has the straight saw, he has those weird jump-ins that Xarakamaka is going for. And was that a combo drop? That
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, no. That's different because like when your opponent breakaways, like the game does kind of like pause for a little bit. So I wouldn't worry about that. Ooh, okay. I wonder if that was going to be a cancel, but obviously Xarakamaka has been hit confirming the dashes on block going for the cancels.
Cabal has a lot of single hit confirm buttons because the Nomad Dash kind of gives you that extra confirm space. Cancel it if you see it's been blocked, and Humba having a really hard time.
He's just getting outzoned, and he can't even afford to trade at this life. Yeah, chip avoided, and there it is, straight into it. Xarakamaka, he is very quickly taking this one round away from being 2-0 up and making top 8 on the loser side.
Obviously fell to Derpy in the winner's side bracket. Looking a lot more confident here, though. The throw escapes come through.
Ooh, yeah, I actually wonder if he still tried to combo.
You can confirm that if you catch it high up enough. We saw him actually land it against Derpy. And this is another thing that you may think that double Nomad Dash is a combo drop. It's not.
Oh, no, it's
Xarakamaka. It's Oki. It's guaranteed. It's the jumping angle. It's really good pressure.
You either meaty from the same side with better timing, or you get like a jump in.
Don't get grabbed anymore, otherwise this game's going to be over. If Xarakamaka hits him with a grab now, he's dead.
Oh, and the hit confirm, nothing else. Oh, and I love that choice, the walk down. Made it look like he was going to go for the throw for the crushing blow into the last minute forward 4. So Xarakamaka doing that a lot today. It's just that straight up clean meaty. Well timed.
And
really
you know
well
why?
played.
You know why that forward 4 was so good too? Because everyone saw that escape failed on the side of the screen. And we all saw just how much health Humba had left. If he hit a grab...
It's a 50-50.
That was a complete 50-50. The grab was... Not only was it a 50-50, but... I still think the grab was the more likely option because of escape failed. Like 90% of players would have taken that escape failed and used it as a grab, right? So, you know, a wise man once said more than a 50-50 in that regard.
The thing is, like, but I feel like the mid was still the safer choice because
I agree.
If he blocked the mid, you then get the mind game of cancel and then do I throw or do I press a button, right? Like there were so many more layers
had
to
that. Basically, going in for the mid, I think Xarakamaka gave himself the favourable mix-up twice in a row.
Yeah.
Because if he gets hit by the forward 4, he's dead. And if he blocks the forward 4, Xarakamaka gets to enforce it again, and there we go. We're back to normal.
I just thought I was quite blurry. I'm like, what's happening to me?
That camera's weirding me out. But
I don't feel so good.
That was a much I think cleaner display. Not to take away from the match against Derpy, but there was definitely I think different levels of confidence. There was definitely some different levels of confidence coming out from Xarakamaka when he played in losers compared to winners. I'm excited to see him in the top 8.
So
I think he's shaking that off already.
That must mean our next match is going to be Ganondorf. Oh, Smash King.
Oh, that's a name I haven't.
Yeah, Smash
that's
King
a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I mean, Smash King defeated I Killed the Deku Tree and losers off stream. So this is going to be, I believe, our final match for this pool, and then we'll be moving over to the next pool after. This has been quite a tidy event so far.
Yeah. So right now we have Foxy, Derpy, We have Foxy, Derpy, Xarakamaka, and we are
winner of
waiting
this
on
game.
one more. So we're going to have one half of our top 8 already decided. Welcome everyone to Reflect 2019, where we are well underway with our Mortal Kombat 11 tournament. Watching it on our stream, you know, they reached out to us and asked if we could use our stream to do the tournament, and we kind of figured it would be a nice thing for you guys to watch. You get to watch us do our thing again, which is always, you know, something I guess you guys at
You will
home
also
enjoy.
be able to watch the VODs for this event. We'll be uploading the tournament matches onto our own YouTube. So if you're a fan of the channels, you'll be able to pretty much find everything in one place, which is going to be
Hopefully you've enjoyed it so far. By all means, let us know what you think. Let us know in chat who you kind of want to win, want to see take the tournament for sure. Because I think actually it's going to be a good top 8. I'm excited with the players that we have. We only have half the bracket so far.
I mean, I think out of everyone that's here, the favorite is pretty much Foxy. But that being said, obviously we have Xarakamaka is looking really clean. Derpy is on a bit of a roll. We're yet to see Happy Power and Omega K. You know, there are still players in this tournament that could do themselves quite well. Especially considering it is, again, you know, a lot of tournaments around the world are now establishing the 2 out of 3 format to mirror the pro competition, right? I know the community was quite hesitant to do 2 out of 3, even in like non-pro competition events. But I feel like clearly that's the way the game is going to be. So the sooner the rest of the world, in terms of tournaments, just adopts that style, the easier the transition will be for the players. Because if you're playing in 3 out of 5 in some tournaments and 2 out of 3 in the others, you're not getting used to the way you should be playing, right? Even if, because I as a player, right, I prefer 3 out of 5 for sure. I always have done, and I probably always will. But if it's 2 out of 3, you've got to practice on 2 out of 3. You have to be ready for 2 out of 3, right? It's like, you know, ranked in game is 2 out of 3 now.
That's why it's been changed.
I presume Combat League is going to be 2 out of 3, and that's why, you know, one of the reasons that they make the change in the first place. But I feel like this is the right thing to do for tournaments around the world. You know, just mirror the pro competition, make sure the players are playing in familiar territory. Whether it changes further down the line, we'll wait. You'll have to wait and see. I hope it does eventually, but you know, we have to go with what is going on right now. And what's going on right now is 2 out of 3.
So we're currently waiting for Smash King to step up to the plate. Ganondorf has already sat down and ready to go. It shouldn't be too much longer. Sorry for the downtime, but obviously we're trying to get the matches done as soon as physically possible. And like Mustard said earlier, we're about to draw to a close the first little block for this tournament. There will be a second block immediately after the break, but Reflect has been an opportunity for us to try and get some other local talent on deck. You know, try and expand the commentary pool in the UK.
Yes,
so
of
after
course.
this block,
Lest we forget,
you will actually be seeing History Behind the Warrior and Falcon commentating together instead. So we're gonna peace out for a little bit. But this is one thing I actually kind of wanted to see with Mortal Kombat 11 is more UK commentators stepping up. So it's not just you and me doing everything.
It can't be just the 2 of us forever. I mean, it's great from a work perspective, from like a community perspective. It's like,
I mean, yeah,
there has to be more, man. I mean, it's true, but you shouldn't say it.
You're saying what we're all thinking. But I mean, yeah, genuinely,
where is Smash King?
It's a good chance to bring in some more local talent, which every game needs. And that's why I'm excited for the Intercontinental Combat too, because, again, when it comes to European commentary, it's been pretty much you and me, featuring Mitsuones on occasion. And that was kind of it, really. And, again, Intercontinental Combat, having its own local commentators do their event, is another exciting thing, because we get to see what everyone else is like. You know, we get to see what other people are playing like, and you know, how they sound and how they work. Because I genuinely don't even really know of other commentators.
Well,
in EU.
I know, of course, Zorro and Ponkster did some MKX stuff back in the day as
Injustice
well.
2 as well.
Yeah, and Injustice 2. I know, obviously, Zorro also did some commentary for us at Hyper Combo 1 Chain not too long ago.
Yes, he did.
So there definitely are names that are willing to do it. You know, I'm so happy.
Most of them are still
Again,
playing. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. All of our commentators are too good at the game. That's the problem. Oh, hang on. That sounds like a self-flex, and that's not what I meant.
Hey, man. I don't disagree. I'm a god.
Well, regardless.
Have you seen my Shao Kahn video? God.
Did you know Shao Kahn can get 50% off a throw?
Did you know he can reversal grab flawless block?
Oh, dearie me. I feel like I haven't seen Smash King play in a long time.
But he's always one of those players that's in every bracket for every game. Like, he just loves to play fighting games.
The UK has quite a few people like that, right? They're good at fighting games because they just love fighting games. And I respect that so much. You know, there are so many players out there that...
Feel free. If you guys want a button check, yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought they were like, how do I lower the health bars?
Ganondorf's like, yo, check out my controller, man. Look at my custom home button.
Does he have a custom home button?
No, that was a joke.
Oh.
God damn it.
Sorry, that one literally just flew straight over my head. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise.
Oh my god.
So this could be one of the slower matches.
Oh, for
This
sure.
is, in fact, what we're
Yeah,
gonna
this is
see.
going to be a slow-paced matchup. It's going to be zoning versus... you know what? It's
I'd
going to
say
be...
this is more zoning versus neutral.
I was about to say
Scarlet
the
is not
same
in-
thing.
Scarlet is not intently...
She can zone, however, she's not a zoner as much as she is a space control character, and I think that's actually...
Neutral!
Yeah, I think that's where they're a bit different. You can have zoning characters like Cetrion, who will spend the whole game keeping you away, and then you have Scarlet, who can do that in some matchups, but her goal really is to just kind of keep you at just outside the magic range of her buttons, and that's different to zoning. She can do both. Cetrion just does one extreme a lot better. But we'll see what happens here.
I find that Scarlet really lends herself to players that do play multiple fighting games though, right? She's very fundamentally strong in terms of like, you know, whiff punishing, footsies, neutral, kind of anti-air, utility. She's really good for players that are like fundamentally very strong. Oh, big jump. Now, we're going to see a lot of that. Just straight up reads, right? If you think he's going to go for the ground pound or a slow boulder, jump might work. But you have to be careful. Oh,
There's
I
the
love
deal.
that choice, the whiff punish with the health regen.
One of the best whiff punisher I think he could have done at that range. It guarantees damage and some life back. Escape failed immediately. Good information for Smash King. Scarlet does have a crushing blow throw. Teleport behind and punishes the teleport too. Drops the combo. That's very unfortunate.
I think he was betting the breakaway. Definitely think he was expecting a breakaway there.
Oh, you know, actually, yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. I assume it was a breakaway bait too.
Oh, now up 3. If you're on the ground, it's going to connect. I feel like you just... And the only space it's not going to hit is a space she's not going to do the up 3.
You know, because you don't see Scarlet every day, I guess sometimes it can be easy to forget that her combos, if she over-dedicates when you break away, are actually pretty punishable. You've got to be well aware of when someone's going to try
Oh,
and break
wow,
away
he actually
you.
got ground pounded out of the teleport there. That's unfortunate.
Feels bad, man.
Ground pound. Jumps just out, but can't get too many of those. Short hops the ground pound instead, and Ganondorf straight back in it. That felt like Smash King's round for so long. But unfortunately, fell away from him just at the last second.
Well, that's the thing about Cetrion, right? It's very quickly for... It can be very quick for her to kind of just steal momentum back, even from full screen. Because all of her special moves from full screen do a generous amount of damage, right? Like at least 7%. Oh, he tried, but he let go too early. Oh, no, no, it's a low, it's a low, it's a low.
Lows lose to
Yeah,
parries,
my brain
bro.
told me it was a mid for a sec. But no, the low would beat the parry there.
Up 3.
A really good
Give us that
counter
turn.
poke option for Ganondorf in that sense. Oh, the boulder again. Because even the chip on her moves, though, is scary. You know, the flawless block, though, right to nullify it. Whereas I'm talking about how good the chip is, the flawless block undoes it. Good read there. And there it is, still holding on to that crushing blow throw. Smash King, saving it for a rainy day. Oh, up 3, blocked into a throw.
Trying to jump out the tentacle was a bit of a bad issue, though. Unfortunately, you know, when you're minus but not punishable, you've still got to watch out at leaving yourself in harm's way by jumping, right? You may as well be punishable if you're going to jump after it.
Oh, the patience Ganondorf ready for the teleport and going to spend the crushing blow. No real reason to, but why not? Obviously, a big thing about this matchup, though, is obviously this version of Cetrion. She loses the wall. She gets the exploding rock instead. And you see how much the wall makes a difference in a lot of matchups. But the exploding boulder you get instead, I mean, it's still good. It's just not the same kind of move, right? Again,
But it's got a
more
bigger...
of a full screen thing. If you get hit by it, you get sent really far away.
It's more of an answer. The boulder in particular is more of an answer for full screen jumps. You know, so that the natural barrier is more of an answer for point blank, whereas the boulder is, hey, you're going to try and jump from full screen to get around my ground pounds, and that is where the boulder becomes the thing. Now, Sub-Zero matchup is going to be vastly different.
Now, is
What
it Dead
the
of
variation?
Winter or is it... No, it's Thin Ice. It's Thin Ice.
Yep. So the
So I
slide.
like this. You see immediately going in for the air axe as well, because that's the one. You're going to be in the air a lot if you're trying to scout out the exploding rock or the ground pound. And then if you have the axe, you can fight, but you have to watch out for the air boulder. And now that crushing blow already spent, but look at the life difference because of it. Oh, there's the whiff punish with the ice ball.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
It didn't appear too much to be a whiff punish attempt. I think as much as he just kind of got clipped by the ice ball while he was whiffing a string.
Perhaps.
But throw loops. Here we go.
Oh, the
Yeah,
patience.
just probably bait to wake up, I imagine.
Oh my
Conversion.
goodness, the active frames.
One of the best strings in the whole game. It's active for so long.
I see Ganondorf just one special at a time. Smash King is just getting taken out, and that is going to be a match point already for Yuzu's Ganondorf.
He appears
one life bar away again from advancing.
To me, Smash King appears a little bit uncomfortable in the matchup. Like really kind of... The worst thing you can really do against Cetrion is be impatient, and unfortunately the impatience is starting to come quite strong here.
However, Smash King, oh, he's him again, foregoing the damage for the restand. You normally see that in Dead of Winter because the overhead gets the combo option, but he'll still go for it now. Unfortunately, I think he just doesn't want to end his combos. He doesn't want to push Ganondorf away. I think he wants to keep him close range. But the problem is you cut your damage so severely. But yeah, we've seen Smash King here. That kind of stuff is what he wants. You're going to trade with the Ice Ball a lot with this variation. And the slide will punish the ground pound from point blank. Like, I really like this choice. Oh, Ghost Thunder!
Wow!
I didn't even know that happened.
Oh yeah, she can low profile certain projectiles with the low grab. It's just much trickier. You have to time it specifically. I think in that case, Ganondorf didn't do it on reaction. It kind of just so happened to work. But he's going to be happy with that anyway. Forward 2-3. It's going to get blocked here. And there it is. Technically, I think there's a gap there, but you've got to be ready.
No punish on the back 3. That's unfortunate. I mean, he's still in this. It's just a lot more work to do. No, that's not going to be death. Not going to be death. This variation doesn't hurt too much. Ooh, the delay. Almost caught him. Bastion gets underneath. There's a punish. Standing 4 into... Oh, no. This actually scales more than standing 4. He actually might survive this. If it was standing 4...
I mean, if it's Sub-Zero, maybe not.
Maybe?
If it's Sub-Zero...
No, he's dead. He's dead. Okay, awesome.
Any other fatal blow, I'd be inclined to agree with you.
No, that's the thing. Like, so standing 4 does more damage than any string into it. And when you're on that kind of like just the cusp of the damage, I'm not too sure. Will he get jump in? Oh, he tried. No.
I thought he was going to jump 1 because of the hitbox.
Well, jump kick into slide would have been a nice amount of damage, but just fell out of it. Jump punch would have been easier to hit, but less damaging, I think. Now, I like this adaptation from Smash King, right? The trades will be in his favor with the Ice Ball. And it will force Ganondorf to stop throwing stuff.
Unfortunately,
the punish. Okay, that's 3. There it is. Crushing blow comes through.
I was going to say much harder to achieve when you don't have the life lead, but Smash King's crushing blow slide there just gave him the life lead he was after. Not scouting out the amplify, and Ganondorf is going to be fighting for his life. Keep this icy boy as far away as you can.
I think Smash King is waiting for the ground pound, but Ganondorf knows he's waiting for it, so he's not giving it. And just by then, underneath, another punish. There's a confirm.
Unbreakable.
Oh no! He missed a jumping punch.
I mean, let's just take it. Let's take the grab. Keep that damage. Another slide. Wait a minute. One ice ball.
No, we have to be careful because the fatal blow. Oh! No! There it is! Just as I say it. I whispered it. I whispered it just so they wouldn't hear. So I'm not going to say that's my fault. But what a play from Ganondorf. Finally found himself with the fatal blow territory and the immediate reaction on the ice ball. Ganondorf is going to be taking it 2-0.
But that was a slow 2 games, absolutely.
Oh, it's always going to be.
I thought it was going to be a little bit faster with Sub-Zero, but I guess that the zoning was still so aggressive there from Ganondorf that wasn't meant to be. Smash King, unfortunately, is out of the tournament, but that does mean that Ganondorf will be moving on now into top 8 from the loser side, which means that our first top 8 players, the first 4 of them will be Afoxygrampa and Derpy on the winner's side, and then Xarakamaka and Ganondorf on the loser's side. So 3 UK and 1 France so far, but don't go anywhere. We have plenty more France where that came from, because now Happy Pal's block is about to begin.
I feel like it's weird to kind of point it out in that way, because this tournament is pretty much only UK and France.
I'm not saying it to measure anything. I'm saying it's territories.
I'm just saying it's quite... I'm just happy to see... I feel like this is something...
I mean, let's be real. Happy Pal's making top 8. Like I am confident he will.
It would be a huge upset if he doesn't, especially considering seeing a lot of the players that were on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Because this half of things was very stacked, I feel.
I mean, I believe Happy Pal and Foxy were top seeds, and with good reason. They are 2 of the premier European players.
It would never have been any other way. They are the 2 that deserve that spot the most due to results, and that's how you should be doing it right now.
So it's been good so far. It's been good fun. We get to see some of the new faces. Well, I've actually been a bit of a treat watching Xarakamaka for me. I really haven't seen him play MK11 yet, but I've heard tales.
I actually wonder if I have access to the bracket myself.
I heard the stories.
I'm just gonna look down at my phone for a second, guys.
Yeah, sure.
Don't mind me.
No worries. But by all means, guys, let us know what you've thought of the tournament so far. It's been a good experience. And it's continuing throughout the day. But
we are far from finished, my friends.
Yeah, for sure. We have the other half to get through, so we're going to find out who's making top 8. We have 4 players left to go, 2 winners, 2 losers. But I believe for now, I think that's our block over. I just want to get some, should we get confirmation?
I think we have a little bit of time to chat beforehand.
Sir. We have the next pool starting at 2 p.m., which is 12 minutes time.
Yeah, so very soon. So let's use this time to
let's look at the bracket.
Yeah, let's break down the bracket that we just saw then. So Pool B1 is officially complete. Problem X was in this pool, but I don't think he played.
Problem DQ'd himself because he's focusing on Street Fighter, which is understandable. He's trying to get into the European regionals.
And he is in a damn good spot to do so, so can't really blame him. Yeah, so Jenkins. Yeah, Jenkins beat Smash King in first game. Sent him to losers. So
Smash King had a hell of a losers.
So Smash King was sent to losers like immediately, and then made it back by. Yeah. couple of DQs, it seems, unfortunately, so he didn't actually play those games.
That loser's run, man, savage. So do we have
word.
the other pool? Let's actually look at who's in the other pool.
It's probably even better for us to do that. Let's have a look. So
Yeah.
if I go, right, the other one. Okay, here we go. Pool C1. It says it's 3% in progress, but hasn't actually started yet.
Oh, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, so...
Didn't know you were still playing.
Yeah, so this pool we have Jackie Chan, Kane Masters, Joker Jokes, Mr. Viper is one of our regulars, Happy
yeah.
Pal, Hollow, Justin Xavier, Ottoman Prime, CIV, Mopu Lapo, Scare Tactics, seen them back, Dill. Oh, Dill, one of the Newcastle guys. Omega K, I'm Still the Daddy, LAB
Quiggy.
Crispy, Quiggy, Die Hard Dan, Launch, and Mega Dirt.
So as we kind of expected, the next group that you guys are about to see has a combination of old players, new players, some NRS, some not, some players that kind of just play multi-fighting games, and others that are just, you know, that they'll kind of play the board. So I think you're expecting some good matches. Happy Pal was my favorite to get. Of all those players that are there, if brackets providing, I think in theory we could very well see Happy Pal and Omega K.
Well, are they on different sides?
I
of the
think so,
bracket?
because Happy Pal's on the top of it and Omega's on the bottom.
Yeah, let me have a quick look and see which side they're on.
I'm pretty sure I saw them on opposite ends, and if they are on opposite ends, that's my personal pick. Not even because of like PND bias, but Omega K has been doing very well online.
Right, I see. Yeah. So one side is Jackie Chan, Kane Masters, Happy Pal, Hollow, Justin Xavier, Ottoman Prime, Mopu Lapo, and Scare Tactics and Dill. And the other side is Omega K, Joker Jokes, Mr. Viper, I'm Still the Daddy, Crispy, Die Hard Dan, Quiggy, Launch, and Mega Dirt.
Omega should be able to get. I mean, again, like we've seen players have good days. Today has been phenomenal.
Yeah, in theory, they should be the two players to make out winner's side. But you know, as we've all seen by now at many events, what we assume will happen doesn't necessarily mean it is what will happen.
I'm sure a bunch of people out there would have probably expected Xarakamaka to get top 8 winners, but Derpy was able to beat him 2-1. So
I mean, but that isn't a surprise to us that I've really been seeing like competition for MK11 and also again Injustice 2. That's the big thing we have to remember, right? And I know Injustice 2 definitely wasn't everyone's cup of tea when it comes to watching the game or even playing it for a lot of Europe. There's no real denying the fact that Europe just wasn't really a fan of the game. A lot of Europe kind of used the time to play other games, or they would go back to MK and keep playing it. But Derpy was thoroughly into Injustice 2.
Injustice 2, I think, though, is what gave Derpy like the confidence and the skill to be
100%.
better at MK11.
Because he ended a lot of tournaments, a lot of online ones, a lot of offline
Finality combo breaker.
Yep. So then he went into MK11 with, again, this newfound confidence that he built up through Injustice 2. And now he's been to 2 tournaments so far. Obviously, Hyper Combo Unchained, which he did very well. And now looking winner's side top 8 at Reflect. So quite the strong process through, I suppose, getting better at playing in offline
But it pays off.
environments.
Experience counts. Experience matters the most, more than anything in offline tournaments. But that is going to be all that we personally have time for a little bit. Don't go anywhere, though, because we will be right back after a break. But we're going to be swapping out with Falcon and History Behind the Warrior, giving them some time on the mic. So thank you all for watching so far. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. More MK11 is on the way. This is Reflect 2019 UK tournament with a £1,000 pot bonus. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.